Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for Bits and Bites. That's right, it's the United States edition. Oh, weird headphones. United States edition, everybody. Bits and Bites. That's right. You know what that means. 50 states, 50 weeks. Big Bad Week 30 is on deck. What does that mean for you? What does it mean for me? Week 30 can only mean one thing. We've been saying it, we've been preaching it, and now it's happening. Week 30, Big Bad New Jersey, baby! Woo! Woo! Overmodulating, it's great. New Jersey, baby! Yeah! We made it, everybody! Week 30 is here! New Jersey's in town! Welcome, New Jersey, your big, bad, golden, beautiful flag. Look at this thing. Liberty and prosperity, 1776, it says. I don't even know if that's the date. Who the hell knows what's going on with New Jersey? What a fantastic state. Hometown show. Everyone loves New Jersey. I think I'm raging in the microphone right now. Had to rebuild the studio after the big show. Stay there, pork roll. I think we're better. That's good. Music pumping. Let's chill out. Anyway, New Jersey's on deck. There's the flag on golden yarn. I don't know what we call it. We'll look into the flag a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about Jersey food, a little bit about Jersey drink, and then we're going to cut to the tape. That's right, the tape. We got game tape. What kind of game tape, Billy? Well, I'll let you know. The studio's a mess. My coffee's everywhere. Let's get to the fast facts of New Jersey while I readjust my mouse. Pull it up. Where's the mouse? Oh, God, it's everywhere. Fast facts, the Garden State. Everyone knows that. Statehood in 1787. Checks out on the flag. Actually, it doesn't. It says 1776. Third state. One of the first. The third. Population, 9 million. Capital's Trenton. Biggest city's Newark. Abbreviation NJ. Everyone knows that. And everyone's favorite part of the show, time for the New Jersey state bird, the golden finch. Ah, yes, the golden finch. Looking like other birds. Can't really lie, I live in New Jersey, don't see a lot of golden finches. And the state flower, common violet. Yeah, that's, I guess I've seen those. That's a purple plant. Got it. All right. So, guys, New Jersey's been in the works for quite some time. We're popping here? We're good. Okay, good. New Jersey, home state. You know, everyone I talk to about the show, I do the show, when did you do in New Jersey? When can I get on for New Jersey? I want to get on New Jersey, talk about Jersey. This is how everyone I know in New Jersey talks. So we decided to change it up a little bit. I picked some food and drink for New Jersey that I thought represented the state well. I have some of them in front of me. Namely, John Taylor's pork roll. All right? Pork roll's a thing. It's a New Jersey thing. Could probably do a whole episode on pork roll. We doing that? We're probably not. But who knows? Maybe this episode spurs a whole pork roll series. Who can say? Anything is possible. But this is pork roll. And a lot of it was consumed in the making of the New Jersey episode. And then there's some New Jersey local beers. And, of course, we have Carton beer here, one of my favorite, the Boat Session Ale. So, you know, I don't know. I don't want to really sit here and talk about New Jersey as much as I would love to, because I did it for hours with a large group of friends of mine from New Jersey. So like I said, everyone was interested in being involved in the New Jersey episode that I knew. At least the people I know that watch the show. Picked a day, picked a time, told them all to come on down. Food and drink focus, big league. Special guest Augie Carton of Carton Brewing. I tapped him first. I said, Guy, come down. I know him for a very long time. Come down, talk to me. Let's talk New Jersey beer. We talk about food all the time. This would be perfect start. Got him on board. Fantastic. And I said, great. We're going to talk to Augie about beers and drinks. It's great. And I said, hey, we need some chefs. I said, hey, Steve Farley, Chef Steve Farley. Why don't you talk to me? Artisan's Brewery. I know you. Why don't you come down here? Why don't we talk food? Why don't we talk drink? Why don't we talk about New Jersey? Great. On board. Then I said, oh, hey, everyone I know, having a party. Why are we having a party? Oh, New Jersey Bits and Bites. We're going to have everyone come over. It's going to be a rager. And we're going to set up the whole studio. We're going to break down the studio, bring it outside on a lovely New Jersey summer day. Bits and Bites outside. Beautiful summer day with all of my beautiful New Jersey people that I could get on a Monday to come down, hang out, and party with me. We had an open mic. We talked with Augie Carton. We talked with Chef Steve Farley. We talked with Chef Chris Calabrese of Nettie's House of Spaghetti. We talked with Chef Dave Viana of Heirloom Kitchen on the panel that is rotating. And then just throughout the course, as you'll watch, this is how I wanted it to be. After we started hitting the topics, people just started flowing in and out of the conversation. Someone came up, hey, I got something to say. Hey, I got something to say. They came up and we started talking. This whole video took place over the course of a few hours. Minimal editing going on here. I don't think I've watched everything back. I'm sure it's fine. Super shout out to Next Level Tabletop, Jerry O, who was out there engineering the whole event. We set up the studio, and then he ran with it, which allowed me to not do what I'm doing right now during the show, just focus on hosting. I mean, there's so many people to thank for coming out to the show, and we'll put it all in the post and the YouTube and stuff, but I don't want to hold it up any longer. I just want to get to the goods. We talk about New Jersey food and drink from top to bottom and everything in between. I think we stayed on the rails for the most part. You be the judge of that. We're going to kick it to the video. It's not short. And I'll be back after the video to close this out. And then the whole thing will be on YouTube. So, without further ado, let's get to the video. Bits and Bites, New Jersey. Bits and Bites, New Jersey. Poolapalooza is what I was calling it, at least. Let's go. All right, so here we are. I guess we'll just start like that. Second New Jersey Bits and Bites. Special guest, Augie Carton. Everybody of Carton Brewing fame. Mr. Stephen Farley. Artisans, what do we, is it brew? Artisans, you need a microphone, sir. You need a microphone.
Yeah, you got to use your mic. Everybody know that.
What's the current title?
Artisans Restaurant and Brewery in Toms River, New Jersey.
There it is, the fantastic Artisans Restaurant and Brewing in Toms River, New Jersey. Here
and manning the grill.
And grill. And Italian grill, perhaps.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that for a while now, but
all right,
no, I said manning the grill.
Oh, I will be manning the grill, yes.
Grill professional doing very important work for New Jersey, representing, let's just go right with it. We're talking New Jersey food and New Jersey drink. We have Augie Carton to talk about Carton Brewing, obviously very important. But I don't know about you guys. I made the bold decision to say that the food for New Jersey is fucking pork roll, and if anyone has anything to say against that, I'm open to hear it.
I would go with BLT.
We didn't even have this discussion, to be fair.
I've said this. I would go with BLT.
A BLT?
No matter what you do in Jersey and where you do it, the greatest thing that comes from here over everywhere else is our tomatoes when they're properly grown in a farm here and have never been refrigerated. And you get a good loaf of bread like our boy Travis is from Benchmark, and then you put just decent bacon, nothing too crazy, crappy mayonnaise, lettuce, and that tomato. That's, at least in August, beginning September, that's Jersey.
Well, it is July. Is it July still?
It's mid-July,
It's
right?
July.
We're mid-July, and it just so happens we have all of those things and a fantastic specialty loaf of bread made for us specifically for the show. A sesame-seeded, pop that bitch open. Sesame, just show it up. It's a sesame.
I'm not doing this like I should. This
sandwich
is not
loaf.
Here we go.
That Travis at Benchmark Bread made specially for us to make BLTs on to showcase our beautiful Jersey tomatoes that Steve did bring. Steve's going to go hit the grill and make some BLTs and some pork roll, egg and cheeses, I believe, on said sandwich.
With lettuce, tomato, pork roll, egg and cheese slam.
Well, I don't like lettuce, tomato, on my pork roll, egg and cheese.
You'll change your opinion today.
But here's where I'm at.
Listen to your guests, Bill.
Well, listen to the host, Steve. Here's what I think. I think we should mash these two up. Take the beautiful New Jersey Benchmark bread that is of beautiful New Jersey sourdough yeast, the fantastic Taylor ham / pork roll product.
Don't say fucking Taylor ham, dude. I'll walk right off the show.
It's pork roll, let's be fair. Take the beautiful pork roll product that needs to be kept refrigerated and is now at room temp.
It doesn't
danger
really need to
zone,
be
Bill.
kept
And
refrigerated.
then-
that is the biggest myth of pork roll.
And then combine that with what you said, the lettuce and
That's right.
tomato, a pork roll, lettuce, tomato sandwich.
Have you? That's actually a great idea. If you grill it, I think that'd work, right?
Guess
Put
what
some
we
grill
have
marks.
lined up? Throw this fucking thing in a goddamn touchdown.
Yes.
We're doing it.
That'll be fun. But if you grill it, right? Get some grill marks on the pork roll.
That's what we're doing. It's going to be beautiful.
The bread too. That bread is going to be nice.
I
on the
mean,
grill.
I already sampled a piece. He made us two beautiful loaves. I told him we were doing the show, and I said I'd love to feature your bread on, of course, and he was game. And I said I need some. When I think of a pork roll and cheese, at least I think of like a sesame Kaiser or Poppy Kaiser.
Yeah.
But his bread is so spectacular and so New Jersey, since it's
Yeah.
obviously with the beautiful sourdough. We couldn't say no. So he
Okay.
made these beautiful loaves, dropped them off today.
So Travis is doing this right down the street from Carton, and Travis is formerly a brewer. So I had the, let's call it luxury of when he opened, he's like, hey, dude, so I'm doing this bread thing down the street. I want you to try the bread. And he dropped off like 4 loaves of bread. And one of my kids is celiac, meaning it's not the nicest thing Daddy does when he comes home with delightful bread. So
Generally a no-go.
So, well, I just don't like to rub his face into it. I'm like, oh, this bread is so good, and you can never know. But so I tried to get through all 3 loaves in about 20 recipes, like in a 4-hour block at my house. But I was making panzanella, I was making grilled cheeses, I was making, just toasted with butter, raw and olive oil, everything. And so far, Travis's breads have really knocked me out as some of the better in our region.
I think they're spectacular. I mean, I get his country loaf that's really delicious, and the sandwich loaf is super. It's everything you want white bread to be. I mean, I sampled it before. It's like, this is what white bread's supposed to be. It's really fucking good. I think he's doing great work there.
I had to redon my shades. The sun just moved through your beautiful shade tree and got me right in the eye while we
It
were
is coming
talking.
out. Oh, Ciabatta Boy wants to join the program.
Oh, what's up,
Oh, buddy boy.
Ciabatta?
Oh.
He's gonna take all that computer down.
No, he'll be
and
good.
That's
He
gonna
knows
be how
better.
that happened.
Anyway.
It'll be a mic drop on Ciabatta.
It's great. So anyway, oh yeah, he does want to get through. Look at him.
all right. So what do you want to talk about? I'm distracting you with bread talk.
Let's
I
talk about.
apologize.
I mean, the breads we're going to talk about. Ciabatta, you want to get through? Go ahead, bud. Go ahead. All right, see you, bud.
All right.
This poor dog. This is what happens when you do a show and it's outside. It's fine.
Live in the yard
Edits.
with guests.
It's all good. We won't edit anything. It's fine. I mean, we could talk about Carton beers. We could talk about some sandwiches. Where do we begin? New Jersey. We're talking New Jersey food and drink. You said a BLT. I think that's a really good one. That's a big diner hit. You go to a diner, you're crushing a BLT. I think another thing that comes up a lot when I talk to people about New Jersey is they mention disco fries as being uniquely New Jersey. I don't know how you guys feel about that. That was a championship level dog.
nailed
I
it.
don't know if the camera even caught that, but
That was
God,
beautiful.
That was
Nailed it.
unbelievable.
Nailed it.
Now he needs to get inside, but it's
That was,
fine.
I believe, that's pooch dressage, right? That's when they have to do that leap.
Thank you, Stephen.
But,
Fantastic. What a good boy. So what do you think about disco fry? I mean, that's definitely uniquely New Jersey.
Well, they're
for
poutine,
sure.
right? Like that's what
it's shitty
cracked me up.
poutine,
The
I'd
first
say.
time I had poutine, you know what a horrible, easily influenced person I am. I was drinking in Brooklyn, and somebody said, "You've never had poutine?" And I said, "No." And we got in his car and drove to Montreal, and ate
Wait a minute,
poutine that
in
night.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was about a 7-hour drive, I think. A
Sounds
couple
about right.
bathroom stops. We were clearly at it when we made this decision.
Okay, fair enough.
But and so we ate a ton of poutine. Pied de cochon was where we went, and they do a foie gras poutine that was ridiculous. But in the middle of it all, I was like, had you said disco fries, I've had this a million fucking times.
We didn't need to drive the
I
7 hours.
don't know if you're just talking about French fries with cheese and gravy, dude. We do this literally at 1:30 a.m. all over the Jersey Shore. But that's a good one. The other one I would throw out there that I think we do uniquely better than the rest of the world. And this is like, you and I have had these discussions many times, but when you're talking about the best cheeseburger, you need to choose the type of cheeseburger.
Definitely.
So, is it a bar? Is it a fast food? Is it a sliders or whatever?
Pub.
But the thing I think we nail, we nail pizza, but I think slice pie, except for 2 of the 5 boroughs, Jersey does better than everybody else in the world. That second heating, crispier crust, 3/4 cooked, then finished cooked, a la minute. Slice pie, I think, is what the whole rest of the world doesn't understand about pizza and why Jersey people are just critical of everybody else. Manhattan and Brooklyn.
Yeah, I'd say Manhattan and Brooklyn are definitely the people that are up there with that. And I'd agree with you. That heat and eat pizza is a good way to say it. The second reheat is
That's
important.
the key to a slice pie, and it's got the slice pie they make has to be bigger than their large.
Correct.
It has to be 3/4 cooked, stored on top of the oven, completely cooled down, reheated for the order.
For the dump
and a
crisp.
place that does such volume that they're like, it just came out of the oven. That's not a slice. It's got to be cooled down and reheated.
I love that.
I say I'll be back in a half an hour. Don't touch that pizza. Leave it right there. I'll be back in a half an hour. Then you can reheat it.
Save it for me. Let the cheese set.
Yep.
How dare you? Yeah, New Jersey definitely does that. And I was talking to someone about this the other day, that you don't even realize that, especially being from New Jersey, until you leave New Jersey. There's plenty of places that have pizza around New Jersey. Okay, this place is better than the other. There's like 7 pizza places in one strip mall around here. We're very fortunate. But until you go out to Colorado and hang out for a few days and you look for a slice, you're like, wait a minute. This is why people say the bread products out here are not just inferior, they're terrible. They just don't exist.
Yeah, they don't know. Nobody does that business, I think, anywhere else except
outside the East Coast, I'd say.
But then again, I don't think there's many other places people would, dine on the subway, right? Like,
yeah,
that's another local thing where we're like, well, I'm gonna eat while I drive, so it's got to be a slice.
I'm starving. I need to eat now.
City vibes.
Yeah, right now.
City vibes are big. I mean that and when and I'll ask both of you guys. This is actually a good segue in that question. Every state I do, I talk to somebody for the state and I ask them what they think about how they would break down the state. And I always use New Jersey as a cornerstone because I tell them I'm from New Jersey and I'm usually talking to people from fucking Alabama, Alaska, whatever. And whether they've been here or not, it makes sense. I say we have, and this is where this conversation comes into play in the New Jersey show. I say we have North Jersey, definitive Central Jersey, and a South Jersey. And the quick lines I give them is, North Jersey's closer to the city. It's got kind of like city vibes and also country vibes, out west. Central Jersey, let's talk just shore towns and stuff like that. And then, out towards Princeton maybe. And then South Jersey, you have Atlantic City, Cape May, and then Philly kind of vibe. Like, that's kind of the highlight. And that's how I break down New Jersey. Do you two agree with that? You're both New Jersey natives. Do you agree with that breakdown, or do you disagree?
I certainly do, and I've lived in North Jersey. I've lived in way North Jersey. I've lived in what some people consider central New Jersey, which is Union County. I've lived in Monmouth County, and where I live now in Ocean County in Toms River is... if you just look at it on a map, it's unquestionably central New Jersey. And then, of course, there's that 609 realm, which I really don't know very well, which is kind of a suburb of Philly.
Yep. I'm going to make it per brewing, but there's actually 3 bands of water in New Jersey that coincide with what you're talking about.
All right, so confirmed.
The bedrock up north is that Hudson River Valley black, slaty rock. Just think about driving the Palisades. Those rocks you see, those gray, blue slate rocks, like out in Pennsylvania, and like all the way up north from there up to Canada. And then in this section, it's mostly a very iron-rich sandstone we call peanut stone. And then when you go south of about 195, yeah, dude, come on. Everybody knows you can't do that.
We are recording, right? It does say recording.
Anyway. But anyway, and then when you go south, when you're in the south and you're in the Pine Barrens, you basically have a water table greatly affected by the decaying pine needles and so on. But there's 3 bands of water types and aquifer type things that happen to coincide with the lines you're drawing.
So that I like that there's scientific backing to the argument of Central Jersey, because
there's brewing backing.
Well,
you know that most of the great breweries in America, back in the days of only 12 breweries, were in Newark, and that's because of that unique water situation for making those neutered American lager type beers is exactly right. And that, it's not because, there's a shipping port and all that there. Like, there's a million shipping ports in the world. Those were featured because the water was uniquely adept to brewing. And I think as you move down here, we get much better for ales. And you and I have had the Atlantic Highlands discussion a million times, but our water's a little salty and a little more irony than everywhere else, and that's what makes our beers our beers. But
right.
There's these 3 bands of water that coincide with this argument.
Well, that goes to the thing that people say: New York pizza, New Jersey pizza. Well, New York pizza is the argument, right? The water. It's the water that makes the pizza. I think it's a big part of it, but there has to be technique involved also. Past that, I mean, we're gonna go a little off gradient, I guess, but
yeah,
there's something a little bit more to it than just the water. But the water is obviously important, especially more so in brewing. But it also does play a part in the bread. You can't remake that bread in Arkansas right now. It's just not gonna happen.
Well. No, because it's sourdough.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's why it's fantastic.
That is definitely, so it's funny. We, so here, this will be a fun illustration of what you're talking about that'll tie it together. So I make a beer called Planning Jersey, which is inspired by Evan Watson, who's a brewer at a place called Plan B in the Hudson Valley. Evan's a fucking genius.
Love that brewery.
But so what Evan does is all of Evan's beers are made with only New York State product, and a lot of it, like the lion's share of it, is from his actual farm. But his yeast is propagated off his beehives on the property.
It's amazing.
And what he makes for his barn beer is all off his property. So he's talked to me into making a barn beer, and he's invited every other brewer in America to do it, and I think everybody should. But so for us, obviously, it's a little harder because there's no farms in Atlantic Highlands. So we get our malts from Rabbit Hill down South Jersey, which is about exit 2, which to keep the Jersey jokes rolling.
Exits all day. We'll be discussing an exit.
But it's the best point of reference I have for you. But you drive to exit 2, make a left, and drive another half hour. And so our yeast comes from a beehive on my next door neighbor's property. And our hops come from a very cool farm down the road from my house that is like a farm completely worked by grown-ups on the autistic spectrum. So they grow hops, and we helped set them up with hops 6 years ago, not knowing this project was coming. But when this project came along and we wanted all local stuff,
made sense.
It worked out that they'd been making hops for 6 years. So we do all that, and what's funny is Evan and I make them, and I'm a huge fan of Evan's beers. I love the way they taste, and I think there's a conceit that the Hudson Valley. When you think about the airflow and the water flow from the Hudson Valley to Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, you're only talking about 100 miles. It doesn't feel like it would be that different. But completely letting what happened with those ingredients, like a sourdough loaf of bread, not fucking around with it, not controlling temp, just here's local grain, here's local hops, here's local water, here's local yeast. Go do your thing. Let's see how it comes out. Not only do I love it, it tastes completely different than when Evan does the same thing on his farm. And what Evan said is it tastes like all the beer, because he and I drink together quite a bit, but mine ends up tasting like all the beers I like to drink in the world, right? Like where my preference in Belgium are slightly different than his, and my preferences in German are slightly different than his. Left to its own devices, Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, the yeast in the air I've been breathing for 50 years just makes a beer taste the way I make beers taste, and and it's just hilarious to me that getting out of the way made it happen easier than trying to write that recipe for 10 years.
It's interesting how that works. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've done in the other states is always trying to find something that is made with local products, made like as local as possible. And the one that sticks out the most to me is in I think it wasn't Alabama. There's some state that was doing I feel like I plug them every other show, but they made a rum, Richland rum. And they grow all their own sugar cane on the property. They do all the distilling there. And you would not think that American rum could be so good. And I was like, okay, how good could this be? And it was really some of the greatest rum I've ever had. It just goes to say that, like, not to parallel rum to the beer terroir that we're discussing, but like the locality of it and getting the closest thing to house and kind of walking away and just letting it do it always seems to be a better idea.
It's shocking, right? Like it's that thumbprint there, that imprint on your. Like I guess your viewers don't, but I've never lived more than 2 miles from my brewery, nor did my father, grandfather, great grandfather. We're from Middletown, New Jersey.
You're what they would call a hyper local.
Yeah, my child is the 7th generation of my family from within 1 mile of my
brewery.
brewery.
There are other states, Augie. There's 49 other ones.
I've had to live in them for different reasons. I've spent time in Ohio and California and Rhode Island and Miami, but home was always
tax
here.
rate is outlandish in New Jersey.
Yeah,
also something to be
and
said.
It's the only place I've ever paid taxes. Son of a bitch. But they so like I said, doing this experiment, I was like, oh no, that's the greatest beer I've ever made. And I didn't do anything except collect stuff from around my state to put together and let it do what it does. But that imprint said to me that there really is clearly a terroir of just the air you breathe, right? Because the yeast is just floating around here right now. We're just collecting it on bread and whatever.
For sure.
That's why that's like, you could get somebody from another state here, and I would argue that Travis's bread is better than theirs, and I'd be right. But
for you,
it might be because I also like the yeast of this area. But
I would say he's just right.
Yeah.
Because the best stuff in the world, whether it's from New Jersey or from France or from Rhode Island, where I lived as well, everything comes from right there.
Yep.
And ideally, in any kind of business that you can do, whether it's brewing or restaurants or a pork roll, if you can get that accomplished, it's just going to be better.
Well, that's the joke. It's funny. I wasn't aiming this way, but it looks like I'm a genius. This town, the beer you and I are drinking, if you read the side of the can, is just a straightforward Hell's Lager that I make in my way here but we only sell it in Monmouth County. We only make 1 tank of it, and we make fresh cans every month.
This town.
And the speech on the side of the can is that every brewery should make this for their town. And I shouldn't be Bud Light Newark making a, neutered version of this beer for the world. I should make enough so my town has it, and you should make enough for your town to have it, and you should make enough for your town to have it. And that's the joke on there. And you're always going to argue that, I hope if you live in Atlantic Highlands, Monmouth County, you think this is the best one in the world, because it is. But at least you have something to stand on for. This is fresh and available and from where I live, and no reason to push it further because it's just a fun little lager. It doesn't need to be huge.
I love lagers and clean beers, and
Speaking
I love.
of which, I'm gonna grab a whip. Keep talking.
Yes, grab the whip, and I love. That's so empty, and I love.
I'll take one of those discounts because I'm going to get up and
I was
cook
gonna
some pork roll.
I was gonna say I think it's time for some pork roll, egg, and cheeses, and then let's fuck with the pork roll BLT combo. But we could do that also. Augie's gonna run out and do that. So Augie, obviously of Cartonbrewing, is here to chat with us and talk beer. We're gonna be crushing some cartons and talk about it. This beautiful bread from Travis at Benchmark. Godspeed. We also have Laird's, which we could talk about with Augie because I know he works with their products. He probably knows a little bit more about Laird's than I do. I don't know if this is in the shot here, but Laird's, this is one of my favorite products in New Jersey. Apple Brandy. This is the 7.5 year, and then this one I didn't even know existed. This is a 10th generation specialty bottled and bond that they did, aged for 5 years. I haven't tried this. Oh, I guess I did. I don't recall trying this, but I did. They were delightful. I make great cocktails with those. Their apple brandy is definitely unique to New Jersey. I don't think anyone else is even making apple brandy that I'm aware of. Is anyone else making apple brandy? I don't.
Calvados.
I feel like this is quite different than Calvados, though. I don't know the process for that, but I want to say it's a different product. Thoughts? How dare you? There's no button.
I don't think.
Oh, there. Muted you.
Look at me.
What a goddamn professional.
That was high
Production genius. Jerry O in the house.
Jerry on the
Next
ones and
level.
twos, tweaking our ass across the crossfader. Well done. Hold on.
Wait, a whip for you and nothing for me? How dare
you want to do
I didn't know.
It's fine.
pork roll and
All right.
cheese first?
Yeah, let's do the classic pork roll. Let's do a PEC first.
And we'll do it. I'll do it on Travis's bread.
Let's do it all
on the benchmark bread.
I think we do it all on Benchmark bread. I
Yeah.
think it makes the most sense.
And those guys can eat the hot dog buns.
Yeah, they can have whatever. They can have hot dogs. We'll have a pork roll. Shot to the pool cam. If we got the pool cam, the people are out there raging, which is great. Hopefully we get some special
They're actually
guests
all
up here.
hiding in the shade.
Yeah, it's true.
I was
It's
just
hot as a
They
motherfucker.
literally watched me almost fall to my death trying to get you that beer.
It's a sweaty
And
New Jersey day. It's
They just
beautiful.
laughed at me. They're like, look at that.
Let's do a
old
pork
man
roll.
climbing over
Have a
that
bag of
fence.
Let's do like one pork roll, egg, and cheese. We'll cut it up, and then let's do maybe a BLT with a tomato focus, and then maybe we'll do the
Those tomatoes look gorgeous.
and then we'll do the pork roll, lettuce, tomato combo. I think that's the
egg
move.
and cheese.
No, I don't want to.
Yes,
I don't
it's
want the
called a
lettuce with the
BLT
egg.
Slam, and it is tasty AF.
Look, we'll let the chef
did you
do
hear?
it.
Did you hear me, millennial? There, I said tasty AF.
I heard the AF, bro. You're so
I was
young
gonna-
and
yo,
youthful.
bro, I'm-
You're so youthful, bro.
Hashtag AF.
I think this is yours, Steven.
So what was I going to say? We were talking about something. Sorry
Steven,
about that
I
horrible
threw something
noise,
at
Jerry.
you.
I didn't mean to do
All right,
that.
sorry. Is this mine? What are we drinking?
I'll get you one. Hold on.
No, whatever.
Hold on.
Grab-
Let's drink that boat.
I was going to say, grab that. We could talk about that. Let's talk a little bit more.
This is a
about
fun
Carton.
little tale. So,
It should be.
people at home, Billy and I have been drinking and talking about food together for a decade now. This is actually the first canned craft beer in New Jersey.
Is that true?
Yeah, we were the first people to can, and that was what we canned. That boat right there.
I mean, this is how old is this?
And
This
Billy's
is-
threatened me with this a million times.
I mean, literally the number one is on top because I think Jesse wrote ones on top because it was
So
and I
back
remember
then,
receiving this.
so what we were doing, because we were a new brewery and there wasn't much, we should probably split one and save the others for
yeah, of course,
posterity, right?
Yeah.
But so what we were doing was we were trying to establish QA/QC for our boat beer canned. So for the first 25 canning runs, so say a year and a half's worth of canning, we would put a case at your house. Whoa, dude! See, that's what happens. That's the experiment. I didn't think it would happen. I don't know what you did to it. It shouldn't re-ferment. Does it smell bad? Anyway, so what we would do 10 years ago is we would collect our, we'd put a 4-pack at Billy's house, a 4-pack at my house in the cellar, a 4-pack in the brewery in the cellar, and a 4-pack at Jesse's apartment in Brooklyn. And then periodically, 6 months later, a year later, we would just check in on them to see how they were maturing, what they were doing.
There's a lot of density in the bottom of that can, by the way.
Ooh, well, yeah, dude. This was, I mean, think about these days. This was when we were raking.
How old is this?
It's 10 years old. This is a decade old. No, it's 9 years old. It was our first year. I'm really fucking proud of that beer. So for those of you at home that haven't had boat beer is our session. Nowadays it would be called session IPA, but there weren't session IPAs 10 years ago. But it's a 4.2% beer designed to taste like a double IPA. So super bitter, grapefruit hops, Citra, Galaxy, Columbus. Those of you that drink beer know what I'm talking about. No reason to go further. There's some wheat in it to body it up. And it relies heavily on that same water we've been talking about all the time. So it's got this kind of salty profile. But like I said, we would check in on it just to see how they age and see how things were doing. And we actually did a taste test with them about 2 years in where this canning run beat the next 4. It was like
Freshies?
second in the tasting. So there were fresh ones. There were a month old, 3 months old, 6 months old.
2 years old.
All the way back. And this can beat those, which is why I'm so excited to have it again because I drank out of them in all those back then.
I mean, that's a decisively different beer, obviously. I mean,
it tastes it tastes like a Belgian pale to me, right?
It does.
It tastes like a really old Orval.
If you blinded somebody on that, I mean, boat is not what you're going to say.
No, definitely not. But it's
definitely
very hoppy. Like, imagine a 9-year-old Miller Lite.
A what?
A 9-year-old Miller Lite. Right? This is 4.2%.
I'd rather not think about that at all.
This is 4.2%. This is exactly the same alcohol, which is the thing that preserves beer as Miller Lite.
Well, cheers, man.
Here's to you, man. Thanks for having these. This is a neat experiment, but I'm super excited that it tastes like beer.
I mean, I literally put these in the basement and forgot about them. I mean, they were with my wine and stuff, so they were fairly temperature controlled.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't in blazing heat. I
like the sweetness on it, right? Because when Boat's a new beer, people at home, it is decisively bitter. So the idea of this was 10 years ago when I was getting myself in trouble on other people's beers like Dogfish 90 and Trogs Nugget Nectar and Ithaca Flower Power and all those really super neat, super American hoppy IPAs from those days. They were 9%, and I didn't know how to drink 9% beers back then. So
you learned. You learned.
We invented this small version of those beers, but we kept it at like that insane 9% level of bitterness from back then. And I think it preserved, like, think about that's not unfresh. It's definitely not hoppy like Boat should be, but hops aren't going to make it 6 months.
I'm not mad at that. I mean, again, if you rebranded that as something else, I think you could definitely have something there that's very interesting.
I'm just
not what I expected.
I love how it exploded, too. It's like I shook it up on you, which I wouldn't have done to myself.
I thought it would be dead, kind of. I thought it was going to be a little DOA, but it really, it's not terrible.
I'm excited by it. Anyway, thanks for sharing it with me,
It's got Belgian vibes. Well, it's your beer.
It's got Belgian vibes, but it's funny. German yeast, Kolsch yeast, little wheat, whole bunch of Pilsner malt. Then you know the hops.
And it hasn't changed much since.
I like the salty, though. The salty really shows through it. That Atlanticon's water is
you know what? It's
the
funny.
dominant
You
thing.
do say that it is accurate. Yes.
We don't salt that beer.
No,
That's
you're
just
right.
how our water tastes.
If you told me this was some kind of like, I don't want to go ahead and say like Goes style, but like.
But I could suggest that.
It has big salinity to it.
But all our beers do. That's our water, right? We're 8 feet from the ocean.
Yes, it does. But like when I drink whip, I don't get lip smacking salinity.
Let me drink some whip just to check.
Maybe cleanse the palate with some whip.
I guess we're sharing because I didn't get you that can yet because we got the boat. That's a good beer too, though.
I mean, I drink a lot of whip. What do we?
Am I supposed to be advertising myself? Oh,
yeah. Sell the sizzle, baby. Put the whip there. Is that the hot
I'm
spot?
terrible at that.
This is a new setup, so bear with it. Is that good?
And then, did we do the This Town? So this is
we got
the This Town
Town
can.
Nice.
Are those both in shot? Did I nail it? Look
Nice.
at me. Professional in it, but I need to
All
drink
day
the bottom one.
professional.
Bad plan.
And then, so what I was going to say is more decisively, of course, Carton Brewing, big fan Carton Brewing. That's why Augie's here. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Talking about, again, every state, it's easier. New Jersey's easy. I feel like there's an abundance of items I could talk about New Jersey.
But it's also your state, right?
That's
so
what I'm saying. So I
best.
could go for hours on it. It's hard, when I do New Hampshire, it's difficult because there's not that much and it's hard to do. There's one on the table inside. Sorry to send you inside. So the other stuff, I mean, obviously there's many breweries in every state. So every state's always easy to find a beer from the state. If I can't find anything uniquely state identified, it's always a brewery. There's always a beer that's involved. Ooh, lovely.
That's for you.
But
And
Laird's,
it's for food, since I smell the pork roll warming up.
but Laird's, I know you've done stuff with.
Right.
I wanted to at least bring it up because this is one of the oldest. It was one of my
It
favorites.
is the oldest producing liquor license in America.
In America, and the oldest producing liquor license in America. It's in Coltsnack, which is not too far from here. Although I don't think they actually distill there anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
They do the barrel. It's like their rick houses up
Yeah,
here, but they're
they don't-
making
in
they're
New York,
making
I
the
think,
whiskey in a southern state.
But that's fine. It's okay. I'm not mad at that. The bottom line is it originated here. They used to do it here. I don't think they've changed the recipe too much. And this 7.5 year, is a strangely affordable bottle that's delicious. This I've never seen before.
10th generation.
Clearly, I drank it. I just don't remember.
Bottled in bond. That's dirty.
I love a bottle
Look
of
at you,
bond.
Laird. You dirty bastard.
I love making.
100 proof apple brandy.
It's pretty
Yeah.
intense. I love making apple Jack Roses with these, which is a little grenadine, a little lime, and a little of that, almost like a martini.
With this
It's an
10th stuff,
cocktail.
I haven't had this yet.
I mean, neither. That's why I said you want to try it. That's why I got the glasses here. Throw a
Oh, I
little
like
cube
it.
in there, just get a little sip on it.
Go
The
ahead.
7.5 I've had plenty of, but I mean this.
But that doesn't claim to be 10 years old, right? It's a 10th celebration of something?
Well, it says age 5 years, 10th generation. I think it's just a special thing because from
Gotcha.
what I recall, and here's the thing I always say when I bring up Laird's. There's Laird's Applejack, which is like the well version that everyone has, which is essentially their runoff cut with vodka, I think, or some kind of like grain spirit. And that's what people think of as Applejack, and that is decisively not what is the delicious Applejack I
Right.
refer
You were
to.
talking before about apple brandy. I know you said Calvados, but what's up in northern France between Armagnac and Cognac that makes... Isn't that Calvados?
Give this man a microphone. Chime in.
But I know
Trino.
that there's some... So I've had a sommelier at some restaurant in New York convince me that I needed to drink a proper apple-derived spirit from northern France with gougere, cheese puffs.
Ooh.
They had whatever. And he was like, this is one of the greatest food pairs you're going to have. And let's face it, you only walk into this kind of bar when you're already wasted. So I'm not saying my palate was at its most discerning. But he was fucking right that these apple brandies with a cheddar cheese puff or a Gruyere cheese puff was
what's up.
Think about it, right? And then you're like, oh, right, of course.
To answer your question, as far as I know, the difference between Armagnac and Cognac is the county in which it is
Right,
made.
the region. But somewhere in between is an apple spirit.
brandy
There's
maker.
another one?
As far
No,
as
there's a region of... Because all the apples of Armagnac go into an apple brandy that has a different name.
Oh.
It's
interesting,
Normandy apples make a specific spirit.
I'm unaware of that. I'd love to try some. As
We're going to
far
have to Google it.
as far
We
as I
will.
know, Spanish Calvados
Yep.
is, instead of made from grapes, made from apples, as far as I understand.
Here's the one thing that I do know about both of these things. They are not from New Jersey, and Laird's is. And I do think that Laird's uses, and I want to, maybe not today, but at some point when Laird's was originally in Coltsnack making it, they were using New
They're
Jersey
actually
apples.
in Scobeyville. You know that, right?
Sorry, Scobeyville,
And-
Coltsnack. That's the other thing with New Jersey, and I'm sure it's the same in other states. The towns blur together, but it is Scobeyville. You're right.
Yeah, but I'm not disagreeing with you. So
No, we
you
have to-
read it.
Yes.
I don't want to correct anybody.
Calvados, French, often nicknamed Calva, is brandy from Normandy in France, typically made from apples. Typically, I thought that was the bit. I thought the bit was
That is
always
the bit,
apples.
but that's it is Calvados.
Okay.
Got it.
So there is nothing else. It's just
That's
Calvados.
it. The Calvados is the apple brandy of Normandy, France.
All right, we made it. I mean, Calvados
was
is
like-
delicious.
I was like, I know there's a thing, but I'm confused now.
I
But
love
yeah,
apple
super
brandy.
tasty.
But
Like I said, with gougere.
I
Do
also
that shit.
that sounds great.
You
But
should make them right now, actually.
Steve,
Now I've got to.
Steve, can we get some gougere?
please?
Can you make some cheese puffs to go with
Please,
our
with our
hyper
apple
local
brandy?
apple New Jersey? You're saying you can't grill a cheese puff?
Could you maybe make like an open faced tomato cheddar sandwich on this bread?
There's actually Cabot cheddar from New Hampshire inside. That's 12 age.
Look at
I
us.
mean,
New Hampshire. Where does that come with New Jersey? Were they before us or after us?
they were before us. I did it last week, so they're actually the state before us. New Hampshire, New Jersey.
Nice. New Hampshire, New Jersey.
Yeah.
All right. So are we drinking this? Somebody should call me. Somebody should call me an Uber.
We should cheers. We should cheers also.
I'm getting a lot of vanilla, right? That's fresh oak.
Big vanilla. Joe, if you'd like to try this, feel free. Hop
Please.
I mean, it smells.
Drink with us.
fantastic. The thing with Laird's is, and again, like I love this before I did these shows. Laird's to me is number one, a huge value play, and two, super, super delicious stuff. And again, to get back to my point, the Laird's Applejack that people see in the well, that's the bottle, it's cut with grain spirit, not so good. The normal stuff, the normal Laird's, straight Laird's, I think they call it or whatever, same bottle, different label, is pure apple brandy, super delicious. But then for like literally $4 more, you can get the 7.5 year. And then they also have like a 12-year, I think, that I have inside. It's like the most expensive bottle they have is like $40. It's crazy.
So here's the thing: the Laird's farms still grow all the apples. I think my fantasy is that somehow they ship some of those apples down there.
I like to think that it's all New
you know what I
Jersey
mean.
apples.
But when I ride my bike through Colts Neck, you ride through their orchards, which all have different names on and all that. But you're on Laird Road. And you're riding through apple farms, and
I don't know what their big I don't know what Laird's distribution is. I know New Jersey, I could go in a liquor store and get it. I don't know if I can get that everywhere.
I think I think they are. And you know what's funny is you also know that Laird is the local well fives, like in most places around New Jersey. Like Laird's makes a Laird's vodka rum gin.
Yes,
you know, the well grab.
Yes.
At most places by us is Laird labeled.
And I haven't had those, and I'm sure they're fine.
Well, I mean,
this is what I like.
If you're mixing out of the well, they're as good as anything else.
I mean, we're talking well-level beverages, so I'm sure they're fine.
Woohoo.
But
look at that.
What do we have here?
Jack.
Is that a classic?
Wait, hold on. Don't touch it.
Yeah, I was going to say, get it on the
Get
cam.
on that sweet camera action.
Oh, and look at this. We have
got something nice to
We
go
have
with
something nice to have with it. How
Look,
beautiful.
something nice.
Well, this is great.
All right, I'm going to have a bite. You're going to have to talk.
Yeah,
Start
I'll
talking.
talk. It's fine. You get in. So this is a beautiful Taylor pork roll.
No. Yeah.
Well, it's Taylor brand pork roll. An egg from my chicken that's right over there. And some, sadly, we don't have any American cheese product made in New Jersey that I'm aware of. That would have been great. But that bread
I don't
is
want to chew
stellar.
on Mike, but
Just-
somebody
it's fine.
must.
I mean, every time I do the show, I'm constantly chewing on Mike. I go, this is
That's
the greatest part
really
of the
good.
show. I'm going to get in there now.
Oh,
Your
that's
turn.
fantastic. You know what I didn't do in all of my experiments with Travis's bread was grill it. And it grills nicely. That is delightful. Right? For those of you at home, Billy just said, oh, my God. It's really
Oh, my
good.
God.
It's really good. Come on, you want a bite?
Steve, you're making more of those?
I think I'm gonna try my brandy with it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Oh, man, that is fantastic. That is Jersey, man.
And kill your decade-old boat so you can drink something nice with it. So something nice is our So we were talking about planning Jersey before. So the trick I've learned to do to keep it fun to drink is when we pull planning Jersey out, it's fermented in a foeder, which is a big oak tank for those of you at home. And a lot of the wild yeasts that make that beer like to live in wood. So we immediately put this beer behind it and then pitch Saison yeast into it. So it's basically, we just call it a table beer, which is just meant to be food friendly, which is why I pulled it out knowing the sandwich was coming. So
Smart, very
Drink
smart, smart man. Just similar to BDG, which I know is like one of my most favorite food-friendly beers that I've had.
we
that you
kegged it
guys
today.
make. And also, arguably, one of my favorite beers that you guys make that no one gives enough love to is milk, really. I mean, I'm a huge fan of milk, but no one ever talks about how good
the
milk
world
is.
has turned their back on 4% session stouts.
I fucking love it. Anytime I see it somewhere, and I don't even think it's on tap at the places it used to be, I am so happy. And I
Well, you
drink
know what
all
it
of
is? You know what it is?
I love that beer.
It's a nitro tap, and the COVID thing.
But even without the nitro, I'm okay
No,
with it.
but-
Doesn't bother me.
I like it better carbon, as you know, but the
I
world
know you
convinced
do.
me it should be nitro.
I talk while I chew.
But that's pretty amazing. It's well done.
Professional.
But so the world convinced me to do it nitro, but COVID took everything off.
I don't like that you took the sesame corner. I just want to say that you took
Hey,
you took the sesame corner, and I got the non-sesame corner. But it's
I'm
okay.
gonna get your mother on the phone and have her tell you how to treat guests.
Hey, look, it's okay. We have plenty of sesame bread. We have a whole loaf here to go all night. Steve, good job. This is fantastic.
All right. Did you hand slice this?
There's a slicer inside.
I was gonna say this pork roll is perfectly sliced. If
He's
you
a
did
G.
this by hand, you got ninja skills.
We only have professionals here. My
We
mother
gotta keep talking. I'm finishing.
My mother likes to cut all. She doesn't use a knife. Everything she cuts at home is on a slicer. She has a little shitty, like,
Really?
residential slicer. Not
See,
a
I
big one.
imagined you as the kind of guy who might have a Birkeland there. That's why
I wish.
was
Trust me, I would love to have that. She has a shitty little wearing, like, a residential one. It's like the size of this loaf of bread. She cuts, like, if she's cooking pasta or she's making sauce, she'll cut the onions on there. She doesn't, like, use a knife. So everything's on that. So she has two. She has a redundant backup. And I was like, I'm taking the backup. Sorry, I got pork roll, I got more.
You know what I love about that is
Need that.
I think one of the keys to a good sub sandwich is the iceberg lettuce sliced on a deli
Very
slicer.
important.
No matter how good you are with a knife, and you know I love my knives and I practice with my knives.
You're never going to get it
You
like that.
can't.
No.
You can't do what a deli slicer can do to a head of iceberg.
You simply can't. There's no question about that. But so this is something nice. Tell me about something nice. Did we get into what this is? You did
Well, I
say.
was talking about it. So again,
Sorry, I would cut you off.
all
'cause
those
this food
grains
is so
come
good.
from Rabbit Hill down south, the place
Okay.
we've already talked about. That is largely Pilsner and two-row with some spelt in there. Gives it just that little bit of body. Like I said, we throw it into a foeder that has just had a wild ferment planting jersey in it. Give it like a day to warm up, and then we pitch Saison yeast on.
And the planting jersey
Is the one we talked about with you know,
all
the
New
local
Jersey
products
right.
with
Just wanted to reference it, right.
the
Correct.
yeast from the beehives.
Super New Jersey.
Super duper jersey. But so is this pretty much. And then the Saison yeast is obviously not. But then we bottle condition it with a culture of that yeast, the locust yeast, the beehive yeast. So it's not purposely sour, but there's potential for sour, and I'm hoping it's one of those kind of 5-year aging table beers.
I mean, it's fantastic.
Thanks. I love it.
Yeah, it's
I know
very
you
good.
like it. It's kind
Was
of
it-
up your alley.
It's like 5%ish.
Ish. Give or take.
5.3. All right, I was right. Yeah, that's tasty. That's very tasty. I'm shocked I haven't had that. I'm a big fan.
It's
Yeah, I
now
love-
a full-time beer by us, and our only full-time bottle.
It is or is not?
It is a full-time beer, and it's full-time bottle.
It's delightful. I'm a big fan.
I can't get over this sandwich.
Yeah, it's true. Like, also I was hungry, which helped. But
There was a version of me that said you don't need a 3:00 meal, and you're talking into microphones. Don't feed your
No.
face. So I thought
Every
that first
show-
bite would suffice.
every show when it's just me.
Yep.
I go, all right, we got this. I don't know, yogurt from Alabama, and then like I'm sitting there on camera, go, all right, we're gonna talk about it, and then I eat a spoonful, and as I'm mindfully eating and thinking about it, I go, this has to be terrible for everyone to listen to me chew yogurt.
In a world where ASMR exists,
Well, that's one of the tags.
I feel like you might have some fetishes.
It's one of the tags that I put on there. Social
you put-
eating is a tag.
You put ASMR social eating on it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
There's got to be people that are like, I love the way Billy chews yogurt.
At least a few.
I mean, I would hope.
Sub
I
up
would hope.
yogurt chewing.
I mean, we live in a world with the internet. Everybody should have all their wants satisfied.
Well, I mean, we could talk about Fruista, which we will. But what about let's just like let's umbrella back.
Umbrella
New Jersey.
back. Okay, Jersey. We're on Jersey.
You know,
Big Jersey
obviously,
fan. What do you
we're
want to know
talking
about
about
Jersey?
big. I mean, we definitely covered hyper local beers that cover New Jersey. Like that, there's something nice, and the beer, the everything. What was it?
Planning Jersey.
Planning Jersey.
So think about it this way.
Fantastic.
Plan B is the guy I do it with.
I get it. So it makes
That's
sense.
that's how that
And
began.
shout out to Plan B. They do make great.
Evan Watson, world's
Product.
hardest working man.
You know what else makes up New Jersey? Even outside of well, this beer, it is food and drink focused. So like, you know, we're talking the sourdough bread. We're talking about the products that we have. But what is there anything else outside of the scope that we don't have that you think if you've never been to New Jersey, what is? I feel like most of this shit. If you send a care package, a pork roll, some sourdough bread, and a bottle of Laird's and some Planning Jersey.
Right. Well, what's
Uniquely
funny
New
about
Jersey,
what's
I would
funny
say.
about us is we're very good at exporting our culture. Not necessarily on the TV shows that everybody likes to mention.
I have a big thing of cheese balls over there,
Yeah.
which I
Ooh.
thought is a New Jersey Shore
like it.
thing. I
I
don't
like
watch
it.
that, but I've heard.
But well, they are cheese balls.
That's what I've heard.
But anyway, and
they're
is that
orange.
right?
Yeah, they are. That's true. They're very fake
Fascinating.
orange.
There you go. So you nailed it. Method.
Different Pantone, though, I
Method
believe.
for different pen.
Different Pantone.
Not C21.
Not C20. What do you got?
yeah.
No, they're over there. Fry the fuck them up.
But yeah. So was it Franklin that said Jersey's a keg tapped at both ends?
I don't. I've never heard that.
Yeah,
but
by
I'm gonna go
Philly
with
and
it.
New
Sure,
York,
that sounds
right?
fantastic.
Like the two most important suburbs of Red Bank are Manhattan and Philadelphia.
Now that's a good one. Who said that?
Augie Carton.
Mike cheers on that. That's a good one.
But
Red Bank's a strange place.
agreed. But I feel like
Footnote for
we do a
those who
great
haven't been
job of hiding behind those two major metro areas. But I think the whole world knows everything we do. They just think they know it through New York and Philly. Like I think our bagels are legitimately better. I think our pizza's better. I think our cheesesteaks are better. I think our broccoli rabe and, roast pork sandwiches are better.
I think there's places to get them better. I think that's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Philadelphia, we have the place that can do better.
That's fair. And that kind of makes sense if you think about it. Like Philadelphia cheesesteaks, right? That's the bit. We love cheesesteaks. Great. New York pizza. Great. We love it. New Jersey sitting in the center and a bulk of the population riding both sides of that tide. There are the places that you can find. Now, you have to find them. You do have to look because you can't just go to a pizza place and say this is better than New York pizza. But I could put you in the direction of a place that will shit on most
I will say this, though, without...
And same with cheesesteaks.
So the joke I like to make is, I like to believe that no matter where you're from, you should think your pizza, your burger, your bagel are significantly better than everybody else's.
Except Chicago pizza.
But you should think that.
Sure.
You're wrong because they're all here. It's Barnacle Bills, it's Una, it's, we actually have them. But you should think that, and if you don't, you should move. But that being said, what I really do believe is that if you randomly walk into a New Jersey pizza place, you won't necessarily get the best slice of your life, but we would never tolerate the slices of pizza I've seen everywhere else.
No.
The standard, whatever, the fat part of the bell curve in New Jersey is much higher than everybody else's
The
bell
worst
curve.
slice I've had in New Jersey trumps any slice I've had in,
So
I'm
that's
just going to
what
go
I'll
ahead and
say
say Colorado.
Why do you hate Colorado? You're
I
so
don't-
high. How can the pizza taste bad? Domino's tastes good in
I mean, I
Colorado.
love
They
Colorado.
have legal weed.
The thing about Colorado is they have their own kind of pizza. The first kind of pizza I had when I went to Colorado, it was a place called Bojo's. And they have a pizza that they come out that's like a normal New York style thickness on the pie, right? But the bit that they have is that their dough, the crust, the crust is literally the width of this fucking can.
Like a French bread, like a baguette wrapped
It's like a
around the
massive
outside of a pizza.
baguette wrapped around it, and then it's twisted. So I think they added on top. If I recall, it's twisted. Maybe it's
So
not.
what's a French loaf where you cut into a razor blade and it looks like a flower? Are you describing this pizza crust?
Not that. They don't.
You
do
know
that.
what I'm talking
I know
about?
what you mean. Where you're supposed to rip off
Down
like
the
a
baguette,
nugget of
yeah.
it. Oh fuck! I used to know that. 'cause
Come
I
on,
did that.
dude. I lean into
Well, I
you for
stopped
this.
baking
You're my
bread-
reference for this
I stopped
stuff.
baking bread when Travis started crushing the bread game. I have no time to make bread anymore.
That goddamn Travis.
I used to brew beer, and then fucking Carton rolls into town. I go, I don't need to brew beer anymore. They're fucking doing it full time. Why am
try.
I wasting
We
my
try.
time?
More people are showing up to the pool party.
Yeah, the people are here. It's great. Pool cam. Dogs, people. So in Colorado, I'm not shitting on Colorado. It's a completely different style pizza. Pizza's you could do a million shows on pizza, but the dough was so thick and on the the cornice was so large, and then on the table they put a bottle of honey down, Colorado honey, and you're supposed to eat the pie and then eat that like the dessert. That's the idea. You eat the big thing as a
get that.
dessert. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I was young when I got there. Also, the place where I had my first fat tire before New Belgium blew out into what they are now when New Belgium was actually good and Fat Tire was
come on,
amazing
they're
beer.
not bad.
I don't hate them. I'm not shitting on New
Don't
Belgium.
do that. I still like all of their sours. Every time I get one,
Well,
I'm
the
like,
sours is
Jesus,
different. I'm
they're
talking
good
about
at this.
Fat Tire was one of the first beers I had when I was thinking about beer, and it was fantastic.
That's funny. I didn't know that. You know, Fat Tire is the first beer I associate with the place. Like, I had a friend whose dad had a ski house, and, like, they would take me with them for their 3-day weekends. Yeah. And that was the first beer experience I had where, when you're in Colorado, you drink Fat Tire.
That's exactly what it was for me.
And it's funny. I think boats kind of become that for Jersey in the craft world, but that was one of those things, like, it bothers me that Jersey came around because of some laws and some stupidity. We came around so late to the beer boom that we're in the what flavor beer part of culture. Oh, look at
here we
that,
come.
dude.
Is this a BLT?
Yeah. Look
Oh,
at that.
Jesus, good Lord, a
Look at that.
BLT.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's a
Right,
Can we?
hold on. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
yeah. Please
I'll do it.
showcase
I'll
this.
get in there. And then I want all you people to watch home on the other camera
Yeah, let's move
when
this
I
here.
grab the part with the seeds.
Yeah, of course. Again, with the fucking seeds.
Nailed
Look
it.
at that fucking thing.
Look at that. Yeah, there's your angle.
So this bacon is from Iowa, Steve. Am I wrong?
Yo, let's see that bacon up close. That shit looks thick.
So this bacon is actually from the Iowa show. Some of the most of my favorite bacon I've ever had in my life. Am I wrong in saying it's Iowa? Well, get your just throw me a pack. Can we see that?
This is like steakhouse bacon.
Yes,
It's
but
like
it's also heritage from their area. It's hyper local to that state. I forget what state it was from. It's a blur, but I do remember the bacon being fantastic. But to me, a BLT is not about the bacon; it's about the tomato. The bacon is a flavoring agent,
Right, and the mayonnaise
to a
That's
tomato.
at the top of the show.
Yeah.
So these tomatoes are dynamite.
Yeah, Chef Steve picked up. So I told him when we were doing the Jersey show, he got some fantastic tomatoes from. Oh, he'll come over and tell us because I don't remember where. But the bacon, I want to say is from Iowa. If my memory serves, it's Iowa, but it's fantastic bacon. But again, in a BLT, it's all about ratio. Ratio is the most important thing, and should be a flavoring agent. And this is thick bacon, so it's probably difficult to do. Is it Iowa, and where are the tomatoes from? It is or is not?
It is Iowa.
What mayo do you use in the house?
That's a Hellman's, I think, thick product. A thick
It's
Hellman's,
the home style Hellman's,
which I think is the residential version of the commercial Hellman's.
Gotcha.
which Bill has a gallon-plus jar of in his.
Bill doesn't
In
fuck
his
around.
refrigerator.
The fridge is ready to fucking party
Bill is
at
a
all
sauce
times.
guy.
Well, I also made the burger sauce, but we're not talking about the
Ooh.
burger sauce. We're not talking
We'll
about
get
burgers
there.
right now. We got time. Did you have a bite of this? I don't want
I'm good.
to. Okay.
Really?
I had a.
I mean, there's plenty more.
I'm fine for the moment. Yeah. Thank
I'm
you.
going to
though.
eat this. Talk.
No, get in there.
Tell us about the tomatoes. We were just talking about how a BLT
Yeah, so
should
the-
showcase the tomatoes. Please tell us these
Yeah,
beautiful
I
tomatoes.
have two places that I source tomatoes for the restaurant. One of them is Delicious Orchards in Cold Snack. Patrick there, who handles the produce, he's a produce savant. You know him, Augie?
Yeah.
He's an awesome dude.
And by the way, right next to Laird's.
Indeed. Yes. And the distillery and the other brewery over there, the names are escaping me. And then I also get tomatoes from Silverton Farms, which is in Tom's River. It's a family-owned organic farm on Silverton Road, right off of New Hampshire Road in Tom's River. And they have spectacular seasonal produce.
So here's the thing, and we can talk about this if you're as weirdly obsessive about it as I am, but the Jersey beefsteak tomato is a thing, right?
It's absolutely a thing.
And I believe it's the tomato that's been poorly knocked off by industry. So when you get those tomatoes out of Florida, for some reason they look like they might be Jersey beefsteaks,
But
and
they're
they
not.
never are.
They're
and they're green and they're
hothouse.
hot and
Sure.
they don't have that like weight, the water weight. You know what I mean?
The thing is that people like us only eat tomatoes, by and large, 2 months a year. The rest of the rest of the world, New Jersey, all of the rest of you included, want half-assed tomatoes no matter what time of year it
But
is.
Chef, I would say this. So you're right for tomato things like BLT and all that, but there's a different version of the tomato, which is that crunchy piece of shit salt water that you add to a sub in January that does that job, right? It's just a way to get salt further into the sandwich.
I feel like that's a different.
But do you know what I mean? Like
it's a different thing, though.
But it's a way to suspend salt water into food. You know what
I would
mean?
agree with you on that.
So fresh tomatoes, you're right, and anything that features a fresh tomato, like even like there's nothing funnier to me than when you walk into any restaurant and they've got sliced mozzarella and tomato in January. It's like, why? Neither one is going to be good right now. There's no grass
If I had
for
a
the cow
nickel
to
for
eat.
every time I was asked for tomatoes and said what cheese product in any other time of year besides, I'd have a lot of nickels.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like there's no
Sure.
grass for the cows to eat in January, and there's no sun for the tomatoes to live on in January.
None.
So don't eat that then. Wait for August. Go to,
You can eat delicious canned Italian tomatoes
yeah, but
in sauce and in pizza and in many different ways. You can get your tomato fix.
yeah, and
But-
San Marzano tomatoes, which are my favorite of the cans, but they're perfect right then. They're locked down. Thank you. I needed that.
Volcanic soil.
Did you see that? Oh, by the way, I don't know if you viewers at home can see, but Billy laid down a sweet little square of AstroTurf, making this the most Jersey backyard party I've ever been to.
I really thought it was. I thought
We
it
are
was
on a deck on the sweet.
Let's not even discuss the fake palms.
I want to like put a cool cigarette out on
also,
it.
the fake palms next to
That
us.
can be arranged.
And
These
also,
are fake?
Like I try to do every show is I try to fucking get in the mode. I thought the gold watch, the flat. I thought I was trying to Guido. I was going to put a tracksuit on.
I like it.
I
That
didn't-
would have been good. You could have nailed
I'm
that.
like halfway. It's too hot to fucking tracksuit. I literally was going to wear a tracksuit.
It is hot out here today, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's 92 in the world's most fictitious measuring device, the car thermometer. But when I got in the car to drive over here, it did say 92, and I was like, it's going to be hot sitting
You know
in
what
Billy's
they say?
backyard and eating. But thank God for BLTs, right? BLTs make hot days okay.
It's the humidity that gets you to.
So
Wait, Chef, drink this.
yeah, definitely.
want you to
actually,
take
I was actually just asking
Glasses up
Bill if he was expecting you to bring any of these OWC beers.
So that is now the full-time OWC beer right now. So for those of you at home, OWC is our basically the stuff we bottle. So clean and dirty beers that take time, right? So they get parked away and they get aged. But so this is the only one that's full-time, and those come out. They tend to sell out in a couple days. So had I
What does
planned
OWC
better,
stand for?
it actually doesn't stand for anything. I'm delighted to say.
I love that.
You'll get a kick out of this. So in the wine world, when you buy wine at auction, a way to support the pedigree of the wine is that it came in the original wooden case. So there'll just be things that say OWC. And when we started brewing and bottling, and I started designing cases, I started calling the bottles, the OWC projects. But it's not original wooden case because we use cardboard boxes, and our name is Carton, which almost implies cardboard box, so it'd be silly to do that. Perfect. But so I just referred to all those projects as OWC projects.
Perfect.
And what I've done is just when people ask us, I don't know, you tell me. And I've gotten much better ideas than I ever would have come up with.
What's the best one?
I don't have a favorite yet, but otherworldly Carton,
Okay. That's clever.
other wood creation. There's all these things. Like everybody's got an answer. And for me, that's way more fun than actually saying what OWC stands for. So the answer is OWC stands for OWC. And I'm still taking answers. If anybody gets one where I'm like, oh, fuck.
I like just to stand for nothing.
Yeah. It just stands for nothing.
I like it because it's delicious. The mouthfeel on that, the aroma,
That's just
the
fantastic.
body,
So the key to spell.
the lacy foam on it. It's fantastic.
Thanks. Yeah. So this is one of those that. So I would say of all the beers we've ever brewed. So Billy's actually been through this with me. Billy was involved in our projects early on. Was definitely part of our discerning tasting panel back in the day. But we brew, we dump, we brew, we dump. We brew, we like. We brew, we sell. You know what I mean? This beer got dumped more than anything, and one of the keys was Hillary from Rabbit Hill down in Jersey. Growing me spelt. I was like, it's there, it's pretty, but I want it to be like a 5-year table beer. Buy a bottle, drink it tonight, drink it next year, drink it 5 years from now. It's just, you've opened a Chardonnay. Thank you. This is what I wanted to show you. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but this is a tomato from Jersey in season. And watch what happens when I push my finger into it. That just means it's so full of tomato water that it's heavy. Like, that is almost a pound.
What they like to say is that tomato fucks.
That tomato does fuck.
That tomato definitely fucks.
But you know what I mean? So
Jersey, that's what we say.
like, if a tomato that size doesn't weigh near a pound in your hand,
You gotta go.
throw it at the person trying to sell it to you.
Yeah, beat
I
it.
bought 5 tomatoes and they were over 5 pounds.
Yeah.
When I went to Silverton Farms.
But if you're anywhere else in the world and you see a tomato that size and you pick it up, it will. My guess is, and I'm just ballparking here, but my guess is 9 out of 10 times that thing's going to weigh 5 ounces.
And also feel like a softball.
You know, exactly,
maybe.
and just feel the same as the lettuce next to it.
Yeah.
A tomato should be a big, heavy, meaty thing, and that's the Jersey beefsteak
juicy
tomato.
product.
So, the thing you requested,
Yeah,
open-faced, on the bread.
I was
with
thinking just like
tomatoes
a
and
happy
cheddar,
waitress.
And cheddar melted
me-
on top.
Wait, look at me
Happy
bringing
waitress.
it all the way back
Now
to
that's
the
the most
top
Jersey
of your
thing I've
show.
heard. Happy
A happy
waitress.
waitress specialty, open-faced tomato BLT.
That's Jersey as fuck.
Right? That is Jersey AF.
Use
Hashtag.
pork roll.
No, I think just the tomato and the cheddar to go with the apple brandy. The
Okay.
whole idea here was the grilled cheddar
Okay.
and the apples, right? Think about like
And then-
think about
so-
like the apple pie with the slice of cheddar. Think about all that. That's where I'm going.
Let's get the order in right to chef. Happy waitress, open-faced, tomato, cheddar, done.
Ready, chef? Here's how I would do it. You do it how you're
I'm
do
listening.
it. Grill, flip, tomato, salt, cheddar. Wait till the cheese is melted. Let the bottom get hard. Put
That's
it out.
exactly what I was going to do.
Nailed it.
And then,
talk.
now with that, and then we're going to do the pork roll, lettuce, tomato sandwich.
The BLT slam.
And I
with
think
a
we,
pork
I think
roll.
that, I think we
a
wrap.
PLT slam.
I think we wrap it out with that. With everyone gets a piece of that. Like make a bunch of those if you can. Is that a pain
Is
in the
that
dick?
okay? Did you say is that a pain in the dick? That's a Jersey thing.
Yeah, that's definitely a Jersey thing.
Most
And
people
then
say pain in the
everyone
ass,
everyone
but
can
not
have a
us.
piece of that, and then whoever wants to join could join. I think.
But anyway, he walked away to fucking make food, right? When I was explaining the spelt being the solution. So all the time. So basically, I just wanted it to be a small, fun, evolving pail for Tuesday, Wednesday, drinking one bottle, whatever we're having for dinner. And it just kept not being right. And then Hillary's spelt was the richness that made it work. So
Well,
I just
I mean,
like to give her credit because there's nothing cooler as a Jersey guy. You remember 10 years ago when we started all this, there's nothing cooler as a Jersey brewer to be able to call up your farmer and be like, grow me some spelt. I think it will solve a problem. And she does it, and it does.
absolutely fantastic. And again, I love, and we didn't even discuss this before you came, that's like the most hyper-local shit, and that's what I'm looking for in every state. Like, it's very hard to find sometimes, this like hyper-local thing, because others, I mean, maybe if you live there, it's easier. It's definitely easier for me because I live here, and I'm talking to someone like you who has the same like mind. It's very easy to find that, and obviously you're creating all these things like with that concept. But like in other states, they're doing it, it's out there, and that's what I'm really trying to find. I found it in some. Other states it's more difficult, but it's out there.
Well, I can speak to
Generally,
it.
it's the best product I've had in these states. Just as a
Yeah. So when in one of my prior lives, I worked in film production, and I lived in Alabama for a couple weeks,
man.
making a film. And I remember grabbing the local guys and be like, "Look, dude, food's my thing. Bring me to your local spot."
Where do we go? What's the eats?
And that part of Alabama, like their best bet was a barbecue place that was one of 4 in Alabama. Like there was no guy in that town making that town's food anymore because the highways had ruined the food culture. And there were some really interesting regional versions of like TGI Fridays and stuff. But if it wasn't for barbecue, there was nothing that was only
Unique.
available in Alabama.
Yeah, to the area. Right?
So I ended up eating a ton of barbecue and very much falling in love with it. But all of you out there in all 50 states, support your local barbecue because it seems to be the only thing we take seriously enough to preserve, right? Like
that's fair. At every state,
shouldn't we live in a world where there's 10,000 versions of a chicken finger, not one?
I would love that.
Yeah.
In one of the states, I remember the guy I talked to. His name was Lawrence Weeks, and I forget the state that it was, but he was telling me how they have barbecue that they focus specifically on lamb because in the South, again, I don't remember the state, but I remember all the regions. It might have been Missouri. It was one of the M states. It was recent. He was in the southwest of this state, and Lawrence Weeks, shout out Lawrence Weeks, he was telling me how they are big on lamb barbecue. It's a huge thing that they do, and it's because of the culture that's down there and all that stuff, but that's just like, and I was like, where do you go eat when you go out? He was a chef out there. I was like, where do you go eat when you're going out, your day off, whatever? He's like, we crush lamb barbecue, bro. We get, if it's me, we're getting a whole lamb. If we're going out, we're going to the lamb places, and there's like a handful of them out there, and that's like the regional thing. And you would never think that in the state, but that just seems to be what they're doing out there. So like you said, support your local barbecue. Alabama, they love the white sauce out in Alabama.
They do. But you know what? It's completely right when you're there.
Well, I'm not mad at it.
They do it.
I love a white sauce. I have Alabama white
let's
sauce.
get back to Jersey. What's your
Yes.
favorite? So all of a sudden, we went from no barbecue in Monmouth County to 6 decent to good places in the last 6 months. I mean, in the last 6 years. How do you feel about that?
The problem that I have with New Jersey barbecue, and this is a personal opinion. This is not, anyone's thing. There's no uniquely New Jersey thing. Like, who's telling me they're using New Jersey oak or pine or whatever in their woods?
You can't smoke with pine, dude.
I know, but give me,
blow up.
I said pine because it's
blow
New
up.
Jersey.
It'll fucking
Maybe you
blow
can
up.
figure out how to do it. I don't know. Someone could do it. Or uniquely New Jersey products. Like one of the.
Why does my barbecue taste like kerosene?
Well, yeah, I don't
pine.
want pine. I mean, it's not a good answer, but you know what I mean? Like local woods, like no one's telling me this is from New Jersey. There's some great barbecue places to be had, but nothing screams uniquely New Jersey barbecue. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think every state needs their own barbecue. A lot of places
let me
reflect
introduce this
other
thought
barbecues.
to you. So
I'm
when
open.
Danny Meyer opened Blue Smoke in the city,
Revolutionary at the time.
what became identified as New York barbecue to me was New York's right as the melting pot to steal from everywhere. So they had a chef who was skilled enough to do a good Texas brisket and beef rib, a good St. Louis rib, a good North Carolina rib, and
In the New York style.
He paid attention to doing it authentically and right to all 4. And what's more New York than having the best of each thing? And then I think 8 years later, there became like the Blue Smoke identifying thumbprint, or grandma's thumb in the sauce, if you will.
Sure, for sure.
Based on just doing that melting pot thing of, we are New York, so we have Texans, we have St. Louisans, we're allowed to, you know what I mean?
Pick up pocket all these places for sure. Because, when you think of melting pot, it is New York. And I recorded something for the New York show recently. We were just talking about how it's the most of the melting pot stuff. But New York barbecue is interesting because it is its own thing. And I think when you say New York barbecue, which I don't think a lot of people say, but when they do, I think of it the same way. I go, okay, you're getting a guy from New York sourcing great product that's doing the regional stuff of the South, the true barbecue, I suppose, in their own way, but targeted. You know?
Now, do you have a thing that you think makes New York barbecue New York? Because I do, but I'll wait for you to go first.
When I think about New York barbecue, the first place that sticks out to my mind is the first place I ate and go, wow, this is New York barbecue. Is Feta Sal.
Yep, it is Feta Sal.
And when I went to Feta Sal,
and you know what he does different than everybody else, as far as I know?
Do tell.
Coffee.
He does coffee rub the shit.
His coffee is rub. His rub involves coffee, which I'm sure people did. Like, there's no way he invented it, but he definitely made it his thing. And his coffee rub is, I think, the thing that made New York barbecue, no longer Danny Meyer's Blue Smoke barbecue.
The other thing was also that, you know, when you went to Feta Sal, it was a throwback to, we're talking New York now, it was a throwback to,
same thing, though.
It's
like
okay,
I said,
it is. It's
a barrel tapped at both ends.
It's a
Look at me bringing it all back.
It's a blend of
professional podcasting right there for you.
It's a blend of all the styles, and what I did love about them was that they used all New York products. When you walked in, the chalkboard told you where everything came from that day, and that's what you don't really see. Back to your original question, in New Jersey, I don't walk into New Jersey barbecue places and see where the shit's coming from, and I would love to see that. I personally love that.
Watch this, and I didn't plan this.
I'm here.
His cookbook.
Who?
The Feta Sal barbecue cookbook. One of the 10 beers featured. Boat beer.
Boat? Good job.
How cool is that?
That's fantastic.
He was a local guy. We were a local beer back then.
I feel like I had
he
it on
loves
tap
boat
there
beer.
when I went.
Yeah, no, he's sold more boat beer than people you know in our hometown.
And I want to say back in that era when I was going there, that was like early Carton days.
Yeah,
for sure.
So,
Feta Sal's fantastic.
Huge thanks to them. But,
I love that.
Yeah, but his coffee thing, I think, and what could be more New York than putting coffee in your barbecue, right? But I think that's when we got our own barbecue.
It makes the most sense. Like it's brilliant.
And when you think about but I think that's when we got our own barbecue. And again, I don't think I'm saying anything anybody doesn't know, but like I said, the most important suburbs of Red Bank are Manhattan and Philly. That's our stuff.
I think there's no question about it.
We can claim it.
And that goes down to the breakdown of New Jersey. Like North Jersey's New York, Central Jersey's Jersey Shore, which is pretty much all people who commute to New York and or Philly, and South Jersey is the people who commute to Philly. So it is a blend. I got a pee break real quick.
I'm going to actually, before you take a pee break, I'm going to say thank you because as we finish our fourth beer and go deep into this, I can tell myself I can tell I will soon be just all effusive. But I want to say thanks for having me because this has been a ball.
Yeah, that's great.
I can't imagine anything more Jersey than this kind of tomfuckery. And
this is fantastic.
And I appreciate being asked to be here, so I wanted to say that before we finish this shot of apple brandy and I just lose all control of my face.
Beautiful. Well, then I will take the last
to you,
pinch
buddy.
I have at apple brandy. Cheers, brother.
Cheers. And thank y'all for watching us BS for a little bit.
Salud. All right, we'll take a break here, and we'll come back, and it'll be fantastic. We're all here. We're going. We're good. Here. This is beautiful. Production, beautiful. All right, and we'll just go with it. Fuck it. We're back. Amazing. Okay, hand the mic to him. Let's introduce everyone else.
Here you go.
And then we could whore the mic around. Whore the mics. We're back. It's amazing. It's great. Let's introduce. We'll start over here. Dave, why don't you introduce yourself and let the world know who you are. Oh, we're on that camera, I guess.
Hey, what's
Thanks.
up? David Viana.
Is he on? Hold on. I can't hear him, dude. Turn his fucking mic on.
Hello,
How dare
testing.
you?
Oh, okay.
There we go.
All
right, try it again.
So I'm David. David Viana of Heirloom Kitchen in Old Bridge, New Jersey. Top Chef contestant, season 16. And good friend to Chris Calabrese.
Fantastic. And speaking of Chris Calabrese, why don't you introduce yourself, Chris Calabrese? Tell the world who you are.
I am Dave's good friend. I am Dave's good friend.
Production is fired.
My
You're more than that, Chris. Don't lie.
Chef owner of Nettie's House of Spaghetti in Tin Falls.
One of the most fantastic restaurants these days around.
Definitely one of my
as
favorites.
as well as Heirloom Kitchen.
Half price.
Yes, please.
Trays on.
And I guess 2 more glasses if you can. This is so joining segments, if you will. This is a pairing that we just came up with on the fly. Perfect.
Oh.
We're doing a Laird's to be hyper local to New Jersey. If you'd like some, obviously grab a glass. There's more cups behind. Hyper local to New Jersey. We're doing the Laird's 10th generation 5-year bottled and bond apple brandy.
Thank you very much.
And Augie suggested that it would go well with what we're going to consider, what we call as a modified Happy Waitress, which is a open-faced, benchmark bread, specialty-made sesame loaf made for us from Travis at Benchmark Breads with beautiful Jersey tomatoes and some non-New Jersey Cabot cheddar. And it should go well with the give this man a fucking mic. Where's the mic? No, but the people.
So much respect to how crunchy the bottom of the spread is. Like,
well, I think that's part of the beauty
mad
of
respect. Mad
part
respect.
Of the, so let's also mad respect to the #1 chef on the grill today. The 1s and 2s behind the fire.
Yo,
Chef
get
Steve
on the ones
Farley.
and twos. Steve Farley.
Steve Farley, hit the applause. Now you got to turn the volume up in the applause fader. Hit the applause for Chef Steve Farley. Mad respect, working the grill. Ooh. How does this go with the apple brandy though?
So, chefs, before you guys came on, we were drinking this apple brandy, and we knew the larder, and trying to keep it Jersey. Like, what's more Jersey than a Happy Waitress? But the idea was the apple brandy and the cheddar, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just think about it.
This is it's like a nice Jersey slice. Like
This
from
is
like a
ooh,
boardwalk
good
slice,
call.
but with like cheddar instead of mutts, so it's got that like sharpness.
I'm getting like a
perfect
perfect
punch
grilled cheese with tomato. I
The
mean,
tomato's so
the thing is-
juicy and beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie.
so-
I'm going to put it out there, and I'll say it in front of all of you. I don't like tomato in my fucking grilled cheese. And the reason I don't,
Strong, harsh criticism right there. Wow.
Why would you say that?
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because 9.7 out of 10 times, it's a shitty waterlog that has no tomato flavor.
Ooh,
It's the tomato, though.
Okay,
but
well,
again,
yeah,
but again,
I'm not blaming the concept of tomato in a grilled
Billy,
cheese.
you
I'm
can't
just
be groundbreaking in segment 2 when we spent whole segment 1 saying that you should only eat tomatoes in a
I
tomato
love
featured thing like a
tomatoes.
grilled cheese with tomato in August and September in New Jersey.
let's just
Right,
let's just dock
chef,
down the situation.
Actually, hold on. I'm going to ask the chef some questions, some international questions. 2 chefs we've got
Absolutely.
here, and you guys know. And actually named heirloom. So the hope is the heirloom tomato boom, right? Because nobody's industrialized those heirloom tomatoes. So there are regional places I can now travel to where if you shop for heirloom tomatoes, you can get a proper, heavy, perfect, a tomato that you
Ripened
just slice
on the
and
vine,
salt.
which is very
ripened,
important.
Exactly. Thank you.
Ripened on the vine.
But
That's what,
a proper big. But so there was a part of your guys' life coming up, right, where there just were no fucking good tomatoes anywhere except New Jersey at like 8 stands for 6 weeks.
Correct.
No,
I agree.
Restaurants still to this day buy the worst tomatoes year round. They have no flavor. People don't expect tomatoes to have a flavor anymore. Like, I don't know. It's like a weird thing.
That's
Also-
when I say the grilled cheese with tomato sucks. That's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
tomato is the problem.
That
Because 9
rock hard white tomato.
You're at a fucking diner. You're getting a grilled cheese, and they're getting the fucking garbage pink tomatoes that have zero flavor. It's a waterlog on my sandwich. If you're getting this, it's delicious. Give me all the tomato on that. That's what I want.
I'm going to tell you something, and it might hurt your.
Kudos to chef.
I love this tomato because all it took was a pinch of salt, and it's delicious. Right?
Fire.
That's what we're celebrating is this tomato.
That's what
You
I
still-
want.
But maybe I want a grilled cheese with tomato all year round. So what do? I have bad tomatoes. Here's what you do.
Passata.
Pinch of fucking salt, for God's sakes. Like, that tomato's never seen any salt. And a pinch of sugar, because it's supposed to be a little sweet.
Adding it.
You add it to the tomato because it still tastes a little bit like tomato.
but chef, as a guy with Nettie's Hot Spaghetti, you must have also, when you're in the same pinch out of season, if you just grab a can of San Marzanos, put your thumb through every one of them, put them in a colander over a thing, and wait, you can use that meat in January, right?
Yeah.
So I have so much to
most
say
definitely.
about this whole thing. I got to be honest, because you just brought us on for me. Number
Tomato
one, yes,
tartare.
those tomatoes are picked in the best conditions, ripe. Hopefully for the most part, unless it's a shitty can of tomatoes.
Canned tomatoes. Canned San Marzanos we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like the best tomatoes in a can.
Right.
You cannot.
Janky fucking can, the yellow with the red tomato pictures on it like that.
Is that the Cento brand? What brand is that?
Cento.
No.
Cento does a DOP, which
Yeah.
is really actually
It's a
great.
yellow and blue
Cento.
can.
Hold on. Did we just talk about Cento in the world of fucking Cento?
We're talking about like
Cento's decent. Everyone knows Cento's decent.
Fuck you, Cento.
Facts. Cento's decent.
look.
Come at me.
At Cento, go fuck. That's what we say.
Why? So the Jersey has the best tomatoes, so we could pick them, can them. There's only one brand of Jersey tomatoes, Jersey Farms, whatever. There's
Now,
like a
hold
little
on. When
one-
I see that Jersey Farms can of tomato, I'm not going to lie. I look at it and go, I bet you that's made somewhere else. I just assume it is. It seems very Jersey to me.
I hope not. That feels
So look,
fucked
so
up.
many
You've watched
about the
many.
Cranberries.
You've watched Goodfellas one too many times.
but you know
it's
what's
going
funny?
in. It's going out the back
But
door.
you know what's
like,
funny? This
very
is
well
the
be.
cynicism you were talking about.
Fuck you, Jersey Farms.
You were talking about the things that are Jersey. That little bit of brashness, that little bit of douchebaggery. That
Yeah.
that,
The cynicism, yeah.
that reason our IPAs are always a little more bitter than yours. Yeah. But so
Very
over here is a featured bag of Shoprite Cranberries because somebody was like, "Oh, we grow cranberries and blueberries," and the minute Billy and I saw, it, we're like, "Those are Chinese." Like, the minute we saw, it, we're like, "That has to be Chinese. It's packaged food. It's from China."
These are most definitely shipped in on a shipping crate from the other side of the world, but that's okay. But we do cranberries in New Jersey, so we do appreciate that. That is fantastic.
Even the food town
We
you bought
probably
them
ship them
from
to-
was from a different
Look,
state.
you know what? Guests brought gifts. It's a beautiful thing. Let's respect. Okay? Let's respect. But they are Chinese. It's fine. If you brought me freshy crannies, it'd be better, but it's okay. Well, let's talk about New Jersey tomatoes. Let's get back to the what we're talking about here. We're talking that beautiful little bite that we have was fantastic because it truly did
Amazing.
showcase this really truly Jersey tomato. And back to my grape, this isn't what you normally get on a sandwich because this is very seasonal, very limited. You're not getting these all the time. It just so happens the show lands in July, and we're getting these beautiful tomatoes right now.
This is the start. This is the start.
Yeah, it's only
only
going
gonna
up
get
from
better
here.
from
It's
here,
only
yeah.
getting up from
Yeah.
here. Where did he get these from? Do you remember?
He got them at Delicious Orchards and a second place, which is a farm.
The best, by the way. Dio, shout out to Dio's.
I love
Dio
it.
is great.
The weight of it because nobody knows that tomatoes are supposed to be heavy.
That's what we were saying.
It's supposed
He
to
said
be ridiculously
he said
heavy
he bought
fruit.
5 tomatoes. It was over 5 pounds. I was like, yes.
They're good.
When my wife moved down here from New York, and I took her to Sickles, which is our local market for this that gets proper tomatoes at the right time. And she grabbed like 20 tomatoes. I was like, you've got like $700 worth of tomatoes there. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, you pay by the weight.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. I was like, each one of those tomatoes has got to be 2 pounds. Like, they were big fucking mid-August tomatoes. I was like, babe, nobody eats that many tomatoes. You get a good tomato, you need one slice. She lost her mind. She didn't know.
Wait, you have a mic in your lap. We have to share this. That's their mic.
We gotta can those tomatoes, Augie.
Agreed, but I mean,
Jersey's
it's Jersey.
the Italy of tomatoes. It's
Now, hold on. I don't
want
wanna be-
It's
Our tomatoes are what they grow in San Marzano. You know that, right? They're a New World product, and I'm telling you, they're from Jersey.
San Marzano tomatoes are fantastic, but you know what? Where's
You're
the
not
volcanoes
wrong.
in Jersey? We got volcanoes out here? I don't see some.
No, not every
San
tomato
Marzano
grows under
didn't
a
have
volcano.
tomatoes
Come
till
on.
Columbus.
How many volcanoes are there in Italy?
Ever.
A handful.
Our
But it's the
condition-
ashy soil is what at least the story they tell. And let's be fair, Chris, no offense. The Italians love a good story. They love fucking
Everybody
salt
loves a
baying
good
up
story,
every fucking
Billy.
bitch.
They spin a good yarn.
They love going, this sauce
This
is
feels
garlic and
racist.
oil. Let me tell you about why it's the.
It's
let me tell
very
you why it's
special
28 bucks.
What do you have against
Please
Italians,
stop
Billy?
microaggressing my friend, Chris.
He's my friend. We're mutual friends.
Honest.
He's mad because I
Mic sharing
spilled
is
2
terrible. We
drinks
need
on
4
the
mics.
This is my favorite thing.
Great. All right, let's get back to New Jersey. All right, back to New Jersey. Beautiful tomatoes.
Let's talk Italian.
Beautiful restaurateurs. Let's talk about Italian food in New Jersey versus Italian food in Italy, because it's quite different. And I dare say red sauce Italian, which is what I consider like New York, New Jersey Italian, is decisively fuck New York, New Jersey. Are we going to argue with that?
Wow. Of course.
Of course we're going to argue, or of course we're going to go with it?
Oh, I'm with you.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, I wouldn't dare blaspheme in the presence of Chris.
I mean, when you sit down at a place and you're getting, real Italian food, just like real Chinese food, just like any kind of real ethnic kind of food, and jump in when I'm wrong here, Italian food here is definitely not Italian food in Italy, right? And
No.
Chinese food here is not Chinese food in Chinese.
But
in
wait,
China.
wait. No Italian food is Italian food in Italy. The Italian food in Sicily is different from
It's
the Italian food in
hyper-regional
Rome.
there. It's different.
New Jersey is the unknown region of Italy. That's what we are.
And that's
It's the
kind of what we
unknown
were saying.
region of Italy.
That's what we were saying. New
that's our
Jersey is
name.
the unknown region of New York. So it's interesting how
We just don't want to be known. We're
New Jersey
under
is
the radar.
really what I'm going to consider on the number 2 pencil the eraser top. It's just the thing that is there to fix all the errors of New York, Philadelphia, Italy, all the problems. It's like, what do you
We're
got
the
in New York?
eraser top.
You got some shit. Let me just. I got the peak over here. You need a great New York slice? We got New Jersey. Hold on. You need a cheesesteak Philly? We got it. Hold up. It's only 2 places, but it's right here. Italy, what are you doing? Carbonara?
We got it. It's right here. Hold on. We got one spot. It's in South Jersey. You only get in once every 3 weeks, but it's there.
I think number one is that the weather here where we live is very similar to the weather in southern Italy and
Well, today's Sicily.
Yeah, today's Sicily.
Today feels Sicilian. Yeah.
100%. You know, we should have lemon trees growing on the hills and everything else, but
But our winters are way harsher. Like, our
Yeah.
winters get so
Yeah, our
much
winters
colder
are.
over there.
And we also, rain affects tomato growth.
But I do
too.
like your tomato thing, but it's...
I mean, look, wine
So,
grows
but-
here. You know,
But what happened when I was a kid?
Occasion-
So like I said, I've lived here 50 years, but we used to manufacture packages. Like Dixie cups used to be a Jersey thing.
Yep.
All those things used to be those things, and all that manufacturing went. I don't think it. I don't want to do that whole. It went overseas, but it went out of Jersey, right? Our
we
our
don't have
basic
those factors.
proximity to the major cities made our place a residential state. But I feel like you're right. Somebody should be growing and properly packaging tomatoes here.
Yeah.
I just
are you telling me today,
I'm just
right
trying to
here,
figure
right
out how to
now
make it
on
happen.
live television, that we're
You-
going to do this, Augie?
I mean, you're good at packaging beer. It's fucking amazing.
What about packaging
It's talk
passata
about
in
Jersey
16-ounce
pride.
cans? What do you think about that? 16-ounce cans of passata.
full of passata. Thank you. Tall boys.
No, tall boys of passata.
Tall boy.
Oh, no!
Oh, ooh.
You people. Speaking of which, why everybody's spilling? Hey, chef,
Yes.
what is Invigoron? Because I'm watching a lot of motherfuckers spill my beer.
I don't even think Billy.
Bigger on from here.
Speaking of New Jersey,
God.
Chris, why don't you tell us about Invigoron?
He's like the Banksy of New Jersey. You'll never know who he is, but
The fuck?
He's definitely not sitting at this table.
Definitely he's not here.
Banksy.
He's definitely not one of us.
not one of us. But look at this product, huh? Invigoron.
of
Look at that.
us.
Look
One
at that
of us.
branding. Hard green tea with homegrown cannabis infusion. The thing contains caffeine. It's like
It's 100% legal.
I would
Absolutely.
say
Well, it's
legal
decriminalized.
to.
Legal to consume.
You're gonna
I mean,
blur
at the
my
very
face
least.
out for this, right?
Dude, with that beard, those glasses, and that bandana, you literally could be anybody I've ever met in a drug room.
Hi.
Let's not deny the Travis Bickle vibes I'm getting from this fucking stage right over here.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Travis Bickle at a beach party. It's not a big deal.
Wait, who's Travis Bickle?
We know. I gotta go. Mic drop. I'm out.
I don't know Travis.
He used to have a mohawk
Do I
too.
have to go now? What happened?
Yeah.
Travis
Is he
Bickle,
the
and I don't
owner
even know.
And you know what's the saddest
Do you know
thing about this?
Travis Bickle?
Hold on. The saddest thing about this was he.
Whoa.
God damn you!
I introduced you to Travis Bickle.
Hold on. He also laughed when I called him Travis Bickle, but now I know he didn't know what I was talking about. And now, a year later, I know he just he fake laughed at me. Call it Invigoron. Blame it on the Invigoron. Thanks
It
to
tells the
Invigoron,
truth.
hit the camera angle. Invigoron, inciting fake laughs for 12 years in New Jersey.
And good times.
Invigoron.
And
an
good times.
experience.
The laugh was authentic. It just
Invigoron.
wasn't Billy.
It's an authentic laugh for inauthentic reasons.
It's an adjective.
That's Billy's laugh when I'm not funny.
My laugh's fantastic. Everyone knows it. It's great.
It
Is
is.
that-
It's great.
But the best description I ever had was, the guy that sounds like a pirate when he laughs. And I was like, yeah, it's about right, I guess. Never really thought about that.
And I'll go back to the Taxi Driver. Like I watched Raging Bull before I watched Taxi Driver, and like Raging Bull was so hard to watch that I never watched Taxi Driver.
Raging was aggressive. Let's just be fair. It's
It
very
was a
aggressive
long movie. I was not.
It's long, and the themes are very aggressive.
Very aggressive.
You watch it, and you're like, even like before that, like the first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with.
It was
what's
an
happening
experience, and I was like, I don't know if I'm
I
into.
prefer Goodfellas. Let's put this cast in a
There we
funny
go.
Martin Scorsese, black comedy, mafia
Scorsese,
vibe.
if you're out there watching, Nettie's House of Spaghetti. Let's go.
I invited him to come on the show. He's
Oh.
Jersey with his eyebrows. He didn't come.
That and Bruce Springsteen.
Fuck
I know
you,
you're watching
Joe
because we're
Pesci.
talking about Jersey.
Of
so
course, he's in the
patron
air.
saint of. Yeah,
He could probably hear
Yeah.
us. He might be. He's in the ether.
Bruce
you know.
Springsteen is the patron saint of New Jersey.
He's
Like,
definitely
he's
part
always
of that.
Bruce,
He's
come
in
to
the lead
Nettie's
of
House of
things.
Spaghetti. I'm
Come
from
to
Freehold, New
Nettie's.
Jersey.
Bruce Springsteen, please go to Nettie's
like-
House of Spaghetti.
I'm not gonna lie.
I
and
would
this is
like-
another
I mean,
thing.
it's as Jersey as Bruce Springsteen.
As
That's
much
what
as I
Nettie's
don't like
is.
it,
I mean,
bad.
you love the place, and I'm from Freehold. We have so much in common.
As much as I don't like a bad tomato in my grilled cheese, I don't even want to get into this. I don't like Bruce Springsteen. But let's talk about.
Bruce, I'm sorry. I'll beat the shit out of him later if you're watching.
Darkness on the Edge of Town is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Someone's gonna show him this, and honestly, I feel bad.
Yeah. Well, all right.
And I'm gonna help him. Me and him are gonna kick the shit out of
You
you.
don't think you don't think he needs a new bassist in the next 10 years?
Billy, I love you.
Look, I admire all
That band's
artists.
getting old and
Bruce is
rich,
an
man.
artist.
People stop showing up when they're old and rich. They might need you. No, I would just. I
back
just
It's not just
Now
glory
I'm just
days
saving you
and
for
Born in the
yourself.
USA. I promise.
I was just saying
There's
it for
more to
yourself.
Bruce.
All right, so I love that you have the original Carton Tiku here. I'm honored, man. It's an honor to be here. Here, chef, drink that. That's a food beer. You will like that. It's called Something Nice. So do you get?
Has anyone not spilt a beer yet? You literally just grabbing your beers. I know, but everyone is spilling the beers. It's fantastic.
I think I'm gonna say it's heat.
It's weed tea, man.
We're like,
Oh,
to
here
hide-
comes the end of the
Whoa.
day. All right, this is our homemade creation.
Well, Bill, first and foremost, it's Benchmark Bread's
I took this.
delicious one-off custom sesame sandwich loaf, which is fucking stellar, if I do say so myself. And everybody's got, I got another sandwich. Chris is hungry. It's all good. Oh, Jesus, this doggy. Get out of here. Get out of here. And then there's some green leaf lettuce and some crispy pork roll, some mayonnaise, and
Pork roll, a BLT where the bacon is subbed out for the superior breakfast meat, the New Jersey pork roll.
that's right, Bill.
Thank you.
A little salt and pepper on the tomato.
Did
of
you
course.
try this yet, or you just?
I
made this?
haven't, Bill. I've
Okay.
been busy
Do you wanna
preparing. There's another one over
Okay,
there.
yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
We
yeah.
came up with this idea. I was like, this is the most Jersey, because when I was talking to Augie, he said a BLT is New Jersey as fuck, and I said, well, pork roll, and then I said, I got it. We're putting the pork roll.
When we were discussing this, I said, Bill, is there going to be a toaster on hand? And of course, we just toasted it on the grill, and it's all good.
I said bacon is for losers, pork roll is for New Jerseyans. This is what I want it to be, and also great ratio. This is. I know. This is what I was talking about. The pork roll is a supporting role to the beautiful tomato. Can we get the fucking ratio on that? Steve, make it for everybody on the house. I haven't even taken a bite yet because everyone else is. I'm glad you're all enjoying it. Do you want to get a nice cross section? Yeah, get in there.
He showed it.
That beautiful fucking ratio. Shout out to Chef Steve.
No, I'm not gonna explain to the rest of humanity why pork roll is pork roll, but it is our
John
thing.
Taylor says, "Fuck you."
That's right, pork roll. That's Taylor's famous pork roll.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm sad that this may be the thing this may be the definitive Jersey thing.
Look, number one,
It really might be.
I'm not ashamed to say.
It's so much better than a BLT.
I'm not ashamed to say that I did come up with this, and I'm also not ashamed to say that you said you want to put egg on this, and fuck that. I don't think egg belongs here.
You're wrong. You've never had a BLT slam. You don't know.
I don't want that.
Perfectly made sandwich, and I'm gonna be honest. Besides the cook, the next
Where's
star.
the mic? Get the mic.
Sorry.
It's really you can't go wrong with
Perfectly
the
cooked
tomato.
sandwich, and that's the real star. This guy built this sandwich perfectly. Steve, a salute.
The BLT should be, and we all agree. We just had this before you guys were here. The BLT should be about the tomato. Oh my god! Not the bacon. The tomato.
It's about the bread on the sandwich. I'm gonna be honest.
Everything is a part of it.
The bread,
Everything is a part of it.
this bread, this
Shout out to
benchmark
Travis.
guy.
That's benchmark.
Travis?
He made this great bread.
I do not know Travis. Travis.
He made this specially for us
That's the
today.
star.
He made this specially for us today. Dropped it off this morning. It's this sandwich loaf with sesame on it.
So Travis used to ferment beer over at Beer Vino.
He knows Vic Rollo.
Now
Good.
He ferments bread, I think at home, and sells it at one of the restaurants by my brewery. He's got a spot. But so he's got a spot. He's literally just whacking out, say, X amount of boules a day, X amount of loaves a day. They're all sourdough starter. Properly peasant and just fucking delightful. And like 6 months ago, it was something he was just doing, right? He's like, hey, I'm going to start making bread. Going to be like that Instagram order thing, COVID. And
Mastering your craft,
drop.
focusing on one thing, just sort of like living that life.
think
I
about
mean,
what's going on. Like,
and there's the result. Delicious bread.
And he's getting better and better. Like he's now salting a little better. Like it was great when it came out, and it's just getting progressively more just perfect. And it's Just some guy in the neighborhood making fucking bread for the neighborhood. It's the way life should be.
I think
very
this is-
Italian.
I
very
think that's
Italian.
the future of food in the industry. I love that guys are just doing their own thing, specializing in one thing. Look, Anthony Mangieri has been doing
Sorry,
it
we're
for
having a
20
fucking
fucking years,
sidebar.
but like, look how good his food is. He's an absolute master. Period.
Yeah. Well,
Burger
he's-
buff.
Yeah, but he's
Burger
one of
buff. Fucking burger is. That's how a cheeseburger is made. Nick Lepore.
Microphone.
Are we talking Burger Buff?
Oh, Burger Buff, yeah.
Just bringing up these guys that are just.
Crushing it in Jersey.
I think it's the future of the food industry. Guys just doing their one thing, specializing in it, and giving a good product.
Well, it's
period.
the past. Come back, right? Instead of being like, instead of a chicken in every. So when whatever that presidential candidate was, when he said a chicken in every pot, what nobody realizes is to get a chicken in every pot, you got to make a lot of shitty chickens and get them in a lot of pots. And I think the other end of that now is, no, best chicken for this dish in your pot, and that's what guys are doing. That's what you're doing. Like this whole TGA Fridays in every fucking town is a nightmare now.
It's a nightmare.
Nightmare.
But a local TGA Fridays in every town doing what they do for their community is a good living, and we all want to be,
Yes,
right,
perfect.
Chef?
Thank you.
Shout out to TGIFs.
And you know what the local TGI Fridays is called? It's called your local restaurant. That's what.
Yeah.
And it's what it needs to go back to. We have to go back to that.
Watch this, Chef. There is a thriving Olive Garden on 13th Street and 6th Avenue in New York. How does that make you feel? It makes me feel very sad.
I mean,
You know Lupa is 7 blocks from that Olive Garden?
I mean,
you can't get in.
I'll tell you why though. But like, not New
Well, you
York,
can.
but Times Square. Times Square is like a worldwide location. People save up their whole lives to get to New York and to get to Times Square, and they just want to buy some Olive Garden and go home. Like,
You know, Dave, hold on. We're not just going home. I got to stop at the M&M store.
yeah, I gotta stop at the M&M store.
I got to
go
get
to the
every
Lego
color
store. Like,
individually.
it's a tourist attraction, and sometimes
Just
food
so
is
you
just
know,
food.
boys, and I'm with you on the general topic here, but micro conversation. The new peanut butter M&M mixed into movie popcorn at a Marvel show, fucking dynamite.
That sounds awesome. Peanut butter
hyper
on a lot
local
of
as
things, man.
fuck. Like, what is that? You're hyper in your own fucking sphere here.
I love that.
What
That's
seat
why
were you
he's
in?
on
Was
the
it
show.
L16 in your theater?
Talking about
G9.
Jersey, baby.
Okay. Well, I can see it now. Now I know why you need the peanut butter. It makes more sense. The chewing with the radiance from the screen, I get it. It all makes sense.
Yo, this is delicious.
Yeah. Well, also not to beat
This
a
is
dead
hot right
horse,
now.
but we described this beer like 6 different times. It's
Sorry. I'm trying it for the first time. This is
So I
is
brought
good.
this. So I'm sad to say this is the second and only of 2 bottles I brought because it was really for Billy because this is the kind of shit Billy and I used to dream about. The beer culture getting far enough that I could get away with making, right? Like, because this is the kind of beer where 10 years ago, if I made it,
Amen.
10 people would be like, "Oh, that's great, thank you, that's perfect," and
Now you sell out.
90 people would be like, "Why did you make this?" But just meant to be food friendly. It's the second of these. We have one called BDG, which is kind of meant to mimic bread crust, and it's just meant to be, you know, what goes with every fucking food, a roll, right? So, but this one is the next step, and it's kind of a little more wild, a little more Jersey local. All the grains are from New Jersey. The yeast, one of the 2 yeasts in it are New Jersey. And we just, it's basically loosely. I don't like to call it a saison because it's not a saison, but in the broad strokes, it's that kind
In
of
that
beer.
world.
We just call it a table beer, and it's just meant to go with your food. And now we've got to the point where I love the recipe, so we started making it. It's full-time available, and it's just a little bottle of beer for like $6 to take home. And
That's
if
awesome.
your partner wants a Chardonnay and you want a fucking beer, no matter what's dinner, that's
Split the
gonna do it,
difference,
right?
like right there. That makes
What a great-
everybody
It's
happy.
What a great way to put it.
chuggable.
It's like Chardonnay and beer. Like, that's
I mean,
a great,
yeah.
great combo.
Everybody wins. That's what that
Now,
sounds like.
let's fucking talk, you guys. Like, we've already jerked off about beer and stuff.
This is me saying thank you because I get in the way of every conversation. I love
Oh,
you guys. Have a good show.
No.
I'm gonna go drink.
Anytime,
I'm gonna
Augie.
go drink with the pool people.
Thank you for the.
I hope you jump back at random a couple beers in. Yeah, bring beers. Please be a beer runner.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the restaurants and, like, you know, we didn't even plan this at all, obviously, so it's fine. Let's talk about, you know, New Jersey, because the show's about New Jersey food and drink, and you guys both operate, I'm going to say, 2 of my favorite restaurants in New Jersey, so it's an honor to have both you guys here to chat. So, you know, I don't think either of your restaurants, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're not like, I'm New Jersey, everything's fucking New Jersey, because you really can't operate a restaurant like that. But we already highlighted what's great New Jersey. The tomatoes,
I mean-
the produce. What's that?
Now you tell me.
Now you tell me.
Are you talking about being like
I speak
everything
Chris.
from?
Well, no, I don't.
Dang it.
I don't know if you could operate like
Damn it.
fully New Jersey. It's just not realistic, is it? Is that something you could do? Like,
I mean,
in an
yeah.
ideal world.
Yes,
Well, I'd love
it's
to, but-
possible.
Okay.
Nobody has tried to do it yet. That's the
And
problem.
Chris is now opening Noma in New Jersey. Thank you very much, Chris.
Oh, Noma.NJ is,
Noma, a lot of
is,
Canadian
just
geese.
happened, ladies and
is
gentlemen.
that before or after the pizza place? How does this work?
They have mayonnaise.
Noma
on it.
Pete's?
No, no. Oh, Killer Pies. Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
yeah,
for bringing
Killer
that up. Thank
Pies.
you.
I'm here to help. Camera's that way. You don't gotta look at me. I see you all the
I'm
time.
talking to you though.
I know, but make believe you're talking to me into that stupid thing.
I feel like I have mayonnaise all over my
It's
face.
fine. We could edit all this. It's all recorded. It's not live. It's not going to be edited, but it's fine.
Killer Pies, slice joint. You know, there's been a lot of Neapolitan pizza around. I absolutely love the stuff.
Now, well, hold on. Let's just pause. Pizza. We're talking about New Jersey pizza with Augie. It's great.
Let's go.
There's a million kinds of pizza, right? And Augie...
P. Wells Road is the best pizza in New York, in New Jersey. Raza, Dan Richer.
Whoa. Which one?
Raza.
Oh, yeah.
New Jersey.
I mean, there's no debate. We're not debating any. But if I want a slice, that's not a razza pie.
No.
I love razza pie. Don't get me wrong. If I could eat any pizza right now, I want 10 of those right here.
Yeah,
but if you want a slice, like, that's not... It's a different thing. That's what I'm saying. My point is there's different styles of pizza. But it's the best pizza in New York. It doesn't work that way. It just simply does not work that way.
It really doesn't.
It really doesn't.
No.
It's like, what's the best burger? No. Well, there's
No,
a million
all different
burgers.
styles,
man.
huh?
It really has nothing to do with. It has to do with the guy that's making it, man. That guy has like a different passion, different vision, and he used to say the water. It's New York water. I think it's bullshit.
I
If
agree.
you like making good
Augie
food,
thinks I'm
you
wrong.
can make it in any state ever.
I think there's a certain
You
degree.
adjust.
There's a certain
You
degree.
adjust, yeah.
There's a certain
Dave,
degree.
you can't make good food in another state because the water's different.
Of course, you adjust. You figure it out. Like our whole job is like managing variables. That's what a chef is. You
Yeah.
manage variables. Like,
Fixing.
So if something's different, you find what was different and you fix it. Like
The water argument, and I had with Augie, and it goes very. I mean, to beer, it makes a lot of sense because it's primarily water, right? You know, his thing is there's a lot of salinity in my beers because it's Atlantic Highlands water. We have a lot of salinity in the beer. Great, I agree, and I'm not wrong with that. But that's no excuse for there being no good pizza on the West Coast. Like, it doesn't make sense. I think your technique is wrong, and people who go, hey, we're going to open a Brooklyn-style pizza place in California. We're going to ship in the water. One, you're not shipping in the water. Two, if you are, that's dumb. Your business plan has already failed. But three, if you were half smart, you could probably I'm not a chemist, but you could probably chemically replicate the water if you had all the chems right, but you're still not going to do it because it's technique.
this whole water argument to me.
Bingo.
I mean, there may
Thank
be
you,
some
Billy.
scientific validity to the water argument, but honestly, I feel like it's like an old wives' tale. Like they're just not exposed to good pizza. All they ever have is bad pizza. They don't even know where to start to make a Jersey pie because none of them have been in Jersey.
Right.
That's the whole thing. It's not that they can't.
No,
they
it's not
could.
they can't.
They just don't know what it even tastes like because they've only had bad pizza in those places. That's
Correct.
That's
They're
what
only
that
making
is.
maybe a good version of a bad pie they've had there,
Yes.
which is maybe
Still
better.
bad.
But it
Then-
goes to the point of the last shows I've had. You know, you don't know how good you have it on the East Coast with bread. Everyone's like bakery products essentially until
love
you
bread.
leave and you go anywhere and try to get a bagel, a pizza, a sandwich, any on bread. You're like, what the fuck is this that you're giving me? It's just not bread. They just don't have the reference. It's just better here. But you can't tell me you can't chemically replicate. The water is bullshit. I don't believe.
I don't believe it.
I was in Italy.
I think it's a
where the
big chunk,
food was
but
created.
I don't
right?
believe.
Billy, have you been to Italy? I went one time.
Have.
But what I learned is that there's bad Italian food in Italy. A lot of
Yeah.
it. It's just like out here. It's the cook.
Look,
it's the guy that has the passion. They got the ingredients.
Like
how
when
you use them.
Like you go to any tourist trap place, Rome.
Walking around Rome,
You're
it's
just
tough.
Great
it's
restaurants
tough.
in Rome.
You're just as lucky to go in a bad one as a good one. Do your research.
In the middle of
Come
nowhere,
on,
you're
man.
probably going to land
There are
good, though.
people in Italy making the best Italian food you'll ever have, better than anything we can do here. I believe that there are places that do it better than anybody. You have to find them. You have to go outside the tourist places. You have to go to the countryside. You have to find them, but it'll
good.
change your life.
What people don't want to hear is when you walk around Rome, it's like Times Square.
It's like
right?
Times
It's
Square.
Times Square.
Boom.
You know when there's
Perfect
when
analogy.
there's an A-frame stand outside telling you come in and eat the best whatever
Yeah, best
carbonara Alfredo. It's like no, dude. But you know what? Look, if not at
Eat
10
some
people,
of the best food. Roman food, right? Let's talk about Roman food.
oh, that's
Carbonara, amatriciana, cacio e pepe.
Oh, they're heavy, baby.
Heavy.
That's a heavy.
They created that shit, man.
Yeah,
It didn't
I love
exist
it.
until they invented it.
It's the
You're
best.
in Rome.
But in Rome, in city center
You're in
Rome,
Jersey,
where all
it
the,
doesn't
where all
matter.
the
There's good
Marriotts
food
and
and
the
bad food.
Sheratons are.
Period.
It's all A-frame stands with people. Let's be fair, like maybe there's a mom and pop shop doing the right thing there, but more often than not, it's people just sucking up fucking tourist dollars. And maybe it's better because they eat at the Olive Garden Times Square we're just talking about, and they're like, "This is so good." Yeah, it is. But go eat the real fucking deal an hour out of town. Your fucking face is going to melt, and you're going to move there because you don't even know what it's like to eat that food.
Yeah.
It's a different world.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you don't eat that, like, I mean...
I think Jersey Italian, because this is where this all stemmed
and
from.
back to Jersey, love it.
Is that, like, we have so many Italian Americans that moved here. They're Italian.
many.
The food is there.
Oh.
At one time, there's a version of it that's not very Italian, and it's American,
guys
and it's
Italian,
and it's a
both
beautiful
Italian?
way.
I'm Portuguese. My de facto culture is Italian. Like, what's more...
Because you're Jersey.
Because I'm Jersey.
When you're Jersey,
there's
it's
nothing
Italian.
more comforting than penne vodka. There's nothing more comforting than red sauce, grandma sauce. Some people, God forbid, blasphemy. They don't call it sauce. They call it gravy. Whatever. I'm not gonna start that debate.
That's a separate
It's not-
argument.
Nobody at
it's a
this
different
table, I hope,
debate for different
sauce
day.
all
we'll have a fucking problem.
Not. I don't even care.
Gravy's for roast beef.
Pray for world peace.
But, you know.
But you know, we like comfort food to me is the pizzeria stuff, man. It's what you got delivered on Friday, and
Totally.
Mom didn't cook.
With
and
the
that's
loaf
what
of
we-
shitty
the
stale
loaf of shitty
bread.
stale bread. Every now and then it was warm, and you got the.
but it was
like,
good, it was
when
so
It
good.
was so good. And when it was like, I've got the stale one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best. That was the best.
Yeah,
when
but-
it was actually fresh.
It was
like,
actually
oh,
fresh.
fuck.
It was
Well,
warm.
warm. They
It was like-
warmed it. They took the time and the care to
yes.
warm it. An extra step. That's like how food's supposed to be. I think in Jersey, everybody was like, "Oh, we can make money serving cheese and sauce," and it got really fucking bad. And then people's palates changed, and now they think that bad food is good. fucking
Jersey is
food.
the only...
And luckily, there's some people out there that have been craving the fucking like somebody that wants to put care into their food.
Jersey's the only place that I could drive around, and I'm not even exaggerating for people who are not here. If you're watching this, you've never been to Jersey. There's mini malls and strip malls on the highways that have not one, not two, 3 fucking sliced pizza shops next to each other.
Yes.
And they all do great. Like, it's the only... I don't understand
They're all
how-
rich.
how that works.
No, they're not rich, but they're
all
still
selling
there.
enough
They're all
slices to
still
go.
there. They never shut each other one down.
I don't
Like-
get it. Like,
And
I
they're
don't
all
know.
pretty good, to be
that
honest.
business
Yeah.
doesn't
No,
work.
not a single one of them
Steve,
bad.
you got an update. What's going on, Steve? It looks like you get something to say.
I was just gonna say where I just bought my house in Tom's River.
Get in the shot. Come on, Steve.
Steve, the guy that made that sandwich, by the way.
Dude,
Holy shit!
He murdered
Sick
it.
sandwich.
Where I just bought my house.
Hold on.
There's 8 pizzerias within walking distance of my house that all rock all day, all night. Indies, I'm not talking like, I'm not even counting the Domino's that's up the way a little bit. There's more pizzerias in Tom's
Shout
River.
out to Domino's.
Rip
Big
Domino's.
shout out. I would say there might be more pizzerias in Tom's River than any other place in America per square mile. It's unbelievable. If you don't have pizza on your menu, you're probably going to fail.
I mean, you operate a restaurant down in Tom's River, so
Hoboken, I would say Hoboken has more pizza places than anywhere
Hoboken's
I've ever
got a
seen.
lot.
It's like 1 square mile, and there's like 75 pizzerias in a square mile.
this is crazy. But here's the thing: only in New Jersey does that shit work. Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, they're
I
all
couldn't go in
surviving.
Pennsylvania
They're
and
still there.
go in a mini mall and open a fucking Pasquale's 2 next to a fucking Zito's 1. There's no fucking way that works. He would come over and either break my legs, tell me to get the fuck out of town.
What do you guys think of semolina on the bottom of the slice to make it crispy?
I'm a fan. I don't think to make it crispy. I just like the taste of semolina.
I think I'm not mad at whenever they try to make the slice a little extra texture, like a little extra. I like
textura.
They're cheating.
Steve
Like,
knows la textura is king.
They put semolina. They're cheating.
You see,
Like,
Dave,
I don't care. It's
while I'm
crispy.
trying to
That's like part of the show.
It's part of the show. It's crispy. It's all that
It's
matters.
just
Yeah.
a
While I'm
move.
trying to educate young Bill here on how things in the food world work, I say la textura to him all the time
All the
because
time.
it's incredibly important.
Yeah.
But semolina helps getting it off the peel,
I like the taste of semolina.
as do I, which is why I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Whenever I make,
Semolina bread, best bread.
Whenever
Shout out
I
to
make-
semolina bread.
Whenever I make any kind of bread that is a success, I
Semolina
always
or some
make it
bakery.
again with a 10%, the same formula, 10% semolina, just to see how it is. Always gives a yellow tinge. It always gives a greater flavor. Semolina always deserves a percentage at the table in the
Yeah.
bread.
I was gonna say like
Jersey as fuck. Also, la
textura.
textura.
La
a joke
textura
we
conversation. Like I'm about that. Like it's
Oh,
like
texture all day.
3-dimensionally. Like we've had 2D food and now there's 3D food.
We
out
need
there.
4D food, dude.
And 4D food. Like let's keep pushing. Like things should be
4D.
beautiful. They should be delicious. They should be crunchy.
You know what?
There should be texture.
Blindfold me
let's
and make
keep-
me fucking touch the table and find it. There's places
Yeah.
do that. The ninja fucking place
Take
or
away
whatever.
senses.
I never did that. Take them away, dude.
Take them away.
Get next fucking level.
Yeah.
That's not New Jersey.
You
No
have
one
to
in New
sniff out
Jersey is
your
doing
meal.
that.
They're saying
Oh,
next
yeah.
level though.
I'm next level as fuck. Have you guys had any of the Laird's brand? I mean, we took a sip at the beginning, but have you had it before? Do you have any comments on it? Like,
I'm so proud of Laird's.
That is
to be
New
honest.
Jersey as fuck. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit is OG NJ.
Monmouth County.
Yes, Monmouth County.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crispy ass tomato and cheddar toast. Like,
Dude, kudos to Augie for ripping that up.
dude, it's hard to overshadow Laird's because it's so delicious.
It is.
But
That pairing
toast,
was.
man, that
Well,
pairing
we
was
were talking. He
perfect.
was reminiscing about some day in France where, like, I don't know, he was getting blown on a boat or something, and he was saying how great it was that he had a sommelier bring him Armagnac and a beautiful croque monsieur or something, and then we just kind of did that, and Steve made it all happen. It was fantastic.
That's awesome.
It was beautiful. But I mean, I always drink, like, Laird's is always in my house. And I always make cocktails with it. I think it's so underrated. And I think, again, we were saying it's brewed now out in New York probably, which is fine. They grow a lot of the apples here, which is great. But, like, OG, it's New Jersey as fuck. And it's fairly cheap, and it's so flavorful, so good.
Dude, I like anything that starts in Jersey. I'm a Jersey
fan.
You know what I mean? Like, if it's Jersey, if it started in Jersey, I support Jersey all day, every
It's
day.
a whole
Like,
attitude.
come on.
It's definitely a thing, and that's like what I think a lot of people have never been to Jersey or don't know about Jersey are like either fuck New Jersey or something like that, because it's like this is likely aggressive. If someone in Minnesota is watching this, they're gonna be like, "What? They're not watching this now.
Yeah.
This has been way too aggressive for the past
We're
2
not
hours."
nice enough for
No,
no,
but we are nice.
They don't
Like,
even understand our
No, we're
language.
very nice,
but I'm totally like, if anyone from Montana just sat next to me and was very nice, I'm open to it. I'm not. We're just like this because we're all New Jersey, so we're all ready to kick each other in the balls.
We're going way too fast for everybody out there.
And definitely talking too fast for sure.
You know, I've seen a lot of bits and bites.
Yes,
and
this guy watched. Yeah, he's watched them all.
There's, you know, a certain something to bits and bites that I think because this is our hometown turf, we're not really getting. So, like, when I feel I watch an episode of Bits and Bites,
Hit me, Jerry.
and you know, I watch Arkansas, I watch Mississippi, like I really learn something. And Bill Vegas, he has a real knack of really just nailing it to the wall and asking the hard questions, you know. And like, if a state sucks, he says, you know what, you suck because of this.
It's true. I have done
And
that.
if they do a good job, he says, you know what, hey, good job on that, right? So
Rare, but yes,
so
occasionally
really-
he does say it.
let's get in there for a second, and I have a question from the chat for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Nice. All right, here we go.
Why? It's a multi-part question. Why is New Jersey the butt of all jokes? And as New Jerseyans,
Morons.
should we embrace it? And if so, how? Or should we seek to change the notion? And if so, how?
Great question, chat. My first gut, and I'm just going to go with it. I think we're always the armpit of America, whatever the fuck, because all the things that we've been saying for the past hour, 2 hours, wherever we've been going, we're a little bit New York, a little bit Pennsylvania, a little bit Philly. We're a blend of the two, and honestly, to Augie's point, a refined version of both. So both of them, who have a larger audience, will shit on us openly and willingly. What's up, buddy?
So we have little brother syndrome.
We have little brother syndrome,
Okay.
which allows us, as we're in here in the state, we all just go, fuck you, we know we're better. But the bigger brothers are
Philly
always
doesn't
like,
even have a fucking beach. Get the fuck out of here with that
yeah,
bullshit.
Philly, a good point, dude.
Hey, Philly, you're in Pennsylvania.
Where's your beach, New York?
Do you know what the closest
You
thing
got
to Philly?
nothing.
Philly has, hold on.
Get outta here
Philly
with
has
that
a boat
bullshit.
in a harbor you could get a seat on.
Not talking Long
Actually
Island
love
either.
Philly, I'm not gonna lie.
I love
I
Philly.
love Philly
Yo, dude.
too, but
I'm not
no
saying I don't
beach,
love
so,
Philly. We haven't
they're
done.
not-
I mean, we're still Jersey, but I love
We haven't
Philly.
done the Philly show yet, or the Pennsylvania
Philly.
show yet. I love Philadelphia.
Shout out to
Great
Philly.
city. But you're right. Go
Opening up
fuck.
a Papa Philly. What?
If we're talking about Philadelphia punching on Jersey or New York punching on Jersey, Philadelphia, go fuck. You have no beach. That's the fight.
Yeah.
New York, they got a beach, but like
Nah, I mean, Long Island is beautiful, right? It's also further north. It's got to be colder, right?
Long Island's also. When I go to Long Island, I go, this isn't New York. This is
It's
just.
so hard to get to. They made Long Island. There's one way in or out. They made Long Island impossible. You literally have to really, really want to be in Long Island.
Let's hit all the boroughs.
Like,
Let's fuck every
let's
borough
be
right
real.
now.
Yeah.
There's got to be more than
Fuck
one way
Queens.
to get in there. And they made it impossible.
Queens done. Staten Island, we could just agree is either just part of Jersey or New
Even
York.
Staten Island
Just-
will
it's
agree
just-
with that.
Staten Island's just part of New Jersey, right? Like, what's this? Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're more related
shit.
to Jersey.
Queen Staten Island coming through.
Fuck. All right, you know what?
Staten Island might as well be part of New Jersey.
Yo,
Next.
dude, I don't know why you're saying that about Staten Island.
Next. And then we got Long Island. No, we're not talking Staten Island.
You're Jersey and Staten Island, right?
Both? Am I both?
No, I think you're just Staten
Oh
Island.
no. Maybe I should wait for the New York episode.
I thought it was gonna be. I was gonna have a round table on the New York, but I guess we're going into Staten Island talk.
I just heard Staten Island. I ran.
Oh, gee, I heard. I saw. I didn't. Well, we were just talking about the boroughs. We were just saying.
Hi, this is Dave, right?
Oh, hey,
Hi,
and well,
Dave.
introduce yourself to the camera, the
Hi,
people.
camera. I'm Brielle Von Hugel. I'm a Staten Island resident.
We were saving you for the New York episode, but glad you can make it for the New Jersey one.
Thank you so much.
I think it's further proving.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Producer's got to get in here. He's untangling. We were talking about the 5 boroughs. We were just saying how Staten Island is pretty much as part of New Jersey.
Correct.
Okay, well,
I agree
Staten
with
Island
you.
agrees.
Well, actually, the South Shore is part of New Jersey. I think people on the North Shore would disagree and say that they're New Yorkers.
Wow, they have that whole Jersey is like New York, half Philly.
North Central South
I feel-
vibe in
South
there.
are-
I feel
vibes. There's
very.
a lot of-
Shocking. Staten Island's ripping off New Jersey shit. So it's just part of New
Oh,
Jersey. Let's just be fair.
I feel just, I feel like I'm double dipping because I'm the best of both.
Boom.
I suppose. I mean, yeah, that's fine.
Isn't that the beautiful thing about culture? Like, the more we melt together, the better it gets.
That's
man.
what I love. And like a lot
It
of these
really
states,
does make everything better.
the states that have all these like melting pot vibes, I love it because all you talk about is they talk about back in the day when it was all like, for lack of a better word, segregated. Like the Polish were over here, the Irish were over here, all this. But like now, today, in like our world, it's all one fucking thing.
Yeah, and we
and
can
it's
celebrate all
beautiful.
of it.
It's
We
great. It's the
celebrate all of it.
best.
Yeah.
It's the fucking best. And I, although not being said, there's probably something to it where when you cross the street, we're going into Polish land. We cross the street, we're going to this. It's
Yeah,
different time, different all that. But I like that it's all.
There's like communities, but they're way more. I think when all these different communities are so close together, we kind of melt into each other, and we give each other permission to roam freely in each other's communities, right? Like,
I love it.
We learn from one another.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's less hostile than it probably was
less hostile
before
than
our
it
time.
sounds. We're proud of where we're from,
Yeah.
but we're not mad that you're not from here. We're just gonna let you know this is this.
I think back in the day, if the Italians
But it's
rolled
not
into
like-
the Irish section of New York, they would
Yeah.
get fisticuffs.
Territorial.
Fisticuffs
There's no
may have occurred.
territorial. Yeah, it's not
Today, it's
territorial.
like, oh shit, we're gonna eat here tonight. This is fantastic. I didn't know this place was here. And you're gonna go eat the best ravioli of your life, and go back and be like, why aren't we making pierogies this way?
Yeah.
I'm Polish. My pierogi's a fake ravioli. I fucked up, or vice versa.
I love potato. Potato is a great.
Speaking of ravioli, have you ever had pestosa ravioli in Staten Island?
I have.
I think I have brought you some of their items before
yes,
to try.
I've had the pestosa. Very
the best.
delicious.
Have you ever had those, Dave?
No, I've not.
They're out here. See, Staten Island, New Jersey, morphed.
Pastosa's like a
go.
fucking Wawa out here now. They're everywhere.
Correct.
I have not been.
The best of the best. We're together. Let's just like
Arguable.
embrace it.
Well,
I'm
let's
into
not
it.
say it's the best of the best.
Let's
but
do it.
It's pretty
I'm
good.
into it. I'm assimilating as a person. I'm into.
I just like.
Let's all learn from each other.
I just like that I could eat everything everywhere.
Yes.
And I don't think you could do that maybe 50 years ago or something. Maybe it was more difficult.
Dude.
But I'm happy that I can
I
do it
learned
now.
about culture through food.
Too.
I lived in Elizabeth. I went to the Ecuadorian spot for food. I had my pan de bono at the Colombian bakery.
Yes.
I like you go to Cuban
Yes.
spot and get your Cuban
Yes.
sandwich, like ropa vieja. Like
I
you
love that.
got to taste the best of every culture, and like you
I don't-
love
but
every
you
culture
gotta
because
think-
there's something about it that you love automatically.
You don't get to do that in other states.
No, you don't.
That's a decisively, I'm going to say New Jersey, New York kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like New Jersey, New York has that big melange of cultures. And I'm not just saying New Jersey to bump up with New York. New Jersey has all of these cultures.
We do.
Big representation in pockets.
Totally.
In
I grew up in
pockets.
Elizabeth. I got exposed to so many cultures.
Absolutely. There's no question. So, it's not just piggybacking on New York, I don't think.
No.
That goes to the armpit question. We're not just armpitting New York. It's New Jersey's its own thing. They have their own culture. There's a massive Portuguese section of Newark.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful place to go. I've spent many, I think I was going to say hours, but I'm going to say days at this point, drinking Vino Verde and drinking overpriced fucking paellas and ceviches at a place. They don't make ceviche there. It's not even the thing, but they had it to fucking bring it. And we're getting $9 bottles of wine, and you're there for fast forward 8 hours. It's beautiful.
Every dish comes with French fries or chips and rice and
What is
it's like,
that?
why is there 17
carbs.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, 17.
Why? Does it
French
all have to come
fries?
with it?
But we eat them all.
Yeah. And
But
God
why-
forbid you open a restaurant and it doesn't serve all of them. They're like,
gotta
why
go.
am I
You're
not?
never
Why
gonna
didn't I
make
get
it.
rice and chips?
But why French
Yo,
fries on everything?
where's my rice and chips?
Why do they
I
love-
ordered something. I get everything.
Why
right? I
do
get-
everywhere from like Peru, all of like South and Central America, and parts of Europe, they love fucking French fries with everything. I don't
Yeah,
care.
in Portugal it's ketchup and mayo. You have to ask for.
I'm okay with
one
the
or
condiment
And they're
game.
never like the
Combo.
greatest French fries you ever had.
No.
They're
They just
usually
have to
soggy.
They're
be there.
usually like borderline steak fries that are undercooked and shitty,
Yeah,
and
not enough
never what
salt,
I
yeah.
want.
No.
And
Too
salt is not
thick.
pleasant.
Who's this?
Who's that dog now?
So many cute dogs.
How many dogs are here? Guys, we're adopting
adorable.
dogs. Call the hotline 843.
This is
New Jersey Rescue. We're the new and
really,
improved.
It's so cute, but it's like they're all one cuter than the next. Like
Really are
they're
adorable dogs.
adorable.
I'm bowing out. I'll join you for the New
All right,
York
thank you for joining. Yeah, please.
episode.
I hope you do. I hope you
Thank
do.
you guys. You're wonderful.
Much.
I love food. I love
Fantastic.
hanging. Thanks.
And she's out. Yeah, I don't know. Let's round it out with some New Jersey talk about. I don't know. So let's go food, drink focus. What do you?
Okay.
What do you? I mean, I talked to Augie about it. What do you think about iconic? Your number one. You're born and raised in New Jersey or no?
Born and raised,
Okay.
Elizabeth, New Jersey.
What's your number one? This is New Jersey food. There's no right or wrong answer.
No.
Number one. This is New Jersey food. This is New Jersey drink.
Okay, New Jersey food, New Jersey drink. Like, are you going iconics like the pork roll and
Like
Taylor
what?
ham?
What if someone came to you from another state and goes, "Hey man,
this happens. This
I've
happens.
I've
Okay.
never been to New Jersey. What's one? Give me a dish. Give me a
So-
plate of food that represents New Jersey.
Done.
Go. Like,
So,
that's the question. I
so I actually, this is a great question because like I host people from all over because I was on Top Chef. So we do collaboration dinners at Heirloom. So Joe
guess. You're
Sasso,
exposed to many folk.
many folk, and I've been really fortunate enough to travel to Minneapolis and see Justin, to go to Cincinnati and see Brian. Like I traveled the country now, so I want to like host people and give them the best of Jersey. I want them to leave liking Jersey as much as I left liking Minneapolis because of Justin and the food that we
New
had.
Jersey loves you.
So this is my goal. So I'll go to the Grand Tavern. I'll go to Nettie's.
Fantastic.
Like I'll go to Nettie's. Like you gotta go to Nettie's. You want red sauce in a cool way that's modern, that's fresh, that's got flavor. Let's go to Nettie's.
Before I was even involved in Nettie's, like that was the place that I was like, this is like the quintessential red sauce place. It's polished, it's dialed in. This is where you want to go
And
if you want to get a taste of what it's supposed to be.
It's the place you wish was around your corner.
Oh, yeah.
Like literally the place you
totally.
wish between price point and quality and like thoughtfulness and
It's everything you want.
it's and just red Jersey. It's red sauce Jersey and in
love
a
it.
cool way.
I
Like,
love it.
Grand Tavern. I always take him to Grand. We're gonna take Joe Sasto's coming in from California in a week. We're gonna go take him to Yumi Sushi in Seabright.
Yumi's so good.
Yumi's insane.
Yumi's the best.
I just had lunch there. It was like amazing.
So
I'm
good.
having a great food day between the BLT,
No,
the
we're doing
cheddar, and
great work here,
and I
but
did
Yumi is
Yumi for
something
lunch.
special. Yeah,
So
something different.
I'm having a
You had Yumi for
lovely
lunch
Jersey
today?
day. Yeah, I had
Oh,
Yumi
fuck
for
yeah,
lunch.
dude.
today,
You're
man.
killing it today.
I'm crushing Jersey today.
You're
Tomatoes.
full. Great day to be here. You're fucking murdering Jersey.
I'm having a good
But
day.
if you had to give New Jersey on a plate, not like a restaurant, or maybe pick a dish from a restaurant, I don't know,
Sure.
like food. Like
Jersey on a plate.
I said pork roll, like because that's it's an argument. Taylor pork roll, whatever. That is a uniquely New Jersey
How about
product for sure.
how
you
about
know?
one of the Rose System burgers?
Oh, dude.
That's a fucking Jersey thing. When you see that white rose, you know
Rose,
you're in a
white
good. You know
rose.
you can stop and you're gonna be happy. There's not. It's
White
never gonna be
Rose
bad.
System, Mike knows.
Come
Island
on,
Park,
that's
late
so
night.
Jersey. Come on.
Dude, White Rose System. No, I don't even think half the. I'm gonna go ahead and say 70% of people in New Jersey don't even know what the fuck that is.
Oh, come on. That's such a
I'm
great.
sorry to say, I think most
That's a
people.
quality
You know what
Jersey.
it is?
If you don't
he
get
doesn't
that-
know.
doesn't
He's-
know?
Are you born and raised Jersey? Born and raised. He
Born and
doesn't know.
raised.
And he has no clue what the fuck
It's
it
a little
is.
bit more north. There's there. It's and it's still, but it's quality, man. It's
I
always.
don't
great.
even know. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's quality.
But it always delivers.
It's
That's all I-
always perfect. It's always perfect.
It's always perfect.
It's
Which
not.
This is
so
what I want.
So
Which
right,
what I
so,
want out of a
so
burger.
for those who haven't know, the White Rose system. Now, and correct me when I'm wrong. You might know more about it. Isn't White Rose a one? There's one location that's White Rose. And then a lot of places knocked off
So
it.
there's White Rose, there's White Manna, White Diamond,
White this,
White
white
this,
that,
White that,
White
yeah.
System 1,
Yes.
White System 2.
Yes,
so
yes,
there's
yes.
a million. But
And there's a
it's-
couple roses too.
But
There's
the
like
OG was like
White Rose.
White Rose 1, I think.
I think. It doesn't
No,
matter.
I don't think it was in Highland Park. I want to say it was in North Jersey.
Highland Park
I
is a
want to
good
say
one.
I want to say Steve
a-
actually knows a little bit more about this than me, but
There's one in.
no, he's murdering the sausage right now. We'll talk about it. What's your OG one? Roselle. What's it
Yes.
called? White Rose. White Rose System. Roselle was the OG.
Yes.
And then the one that I learned about with Jerry O, producer. Well, we're
There's
just
one
going
in
with it.
Clifton.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Essentially, it's a white.
Jersey City. There's one in Jersey City that's
It's a
so bomb. I
white-
love the Jersey City.
Here's all the words: White Rose Manna Systems. Combo it however you want. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. They're everywhere. Someone maybe in Roselle had the OG one. but they're White Castle burgers done the right way.
And they all look like an old school 1950s like trailer thing.
Dudes
like,
wearing paper hats.
Yeah, dudes wearing paper hats.
It's kind of the original smash
It's the original
burger.
smash burger.
Totally.
100.
But they're not all
not
about
as
the
crispy. Some of them
I was going to say, they're not about the crisp. They're about
It's
the
not
fat.
as much about the
They
crisp.
want it to be a little soggier, and the onions. They're all about the onions, like a White Castle
always
burger.
has onions on it.
They cook. I think they cook it on a bed of onions, like the White Castle style, and they do it like a smash burger. So it's a blend. It's a mashup. It's a smash burger meets a White Castle style. Because I don't think I've ever had a crispy burger there.
No,
It's always a little mouchard, but it's good. It's delicious.
It's soft. It's
beautiful.
Like, delicious.
Oniony as fuck. Like what White Castle has probably ripped off and taken from. Fucking beautiful. Double Cali. Double Cali with cheese is what Mike knows. Shout out Mike knows. See you live. Love you, Mike knows. I don't know. Okay, okay. The burgers. Is there anything? A drink. Let's talk about liquid.
Oh.
What's your most Jersey juice? I pick Laird's and Carton because Augie's here. But
what I'll tell you is I don't know if there's a Jersey juice, but what I will say is having lived in North Jersey, Central Jersey, I'm now in Asbury Park, whiskey is very territorial in Jersey. Like, for example, and I'm going to go full example, Hoboken is a Jameson town. You ask for Jack Daniels in Hoboken, they look at you sideways like, what?
Beat it.
You're not from here.
Not
Get the
Jack.
fuck out. But if you order Jack Daniels in New Brunswick, you're good. You're a homie.
All day.
You order Jameson, you're like, whoa, what are you doing here?
Not a Chambo town.
It's exactly. There's towns for spirits. It's a uniquely, and maybe it's because I'm a chef and I was at these bars after hours, and you had to learn what
I
the
never
town
thought
was
about
about.
that, but you're right. I played shows in New Brunswick for a long time, and you're right. Like finding Jack or JMO was different
It was
bar to bar,
territorial, yeah.
depending where you were.
It was territorial. There's like territory on the whiskey. I was like, whoa, okay.
There is no. I don't think there's any some states have it. Like there's a gem in some states. Like when you go to Illinois, Malort is the thing. Chicago Malort. They make it like if I'm going to pick a booze that identifies Illinois, it's going to be Chicago's Malort. Weird, terrible. Have you had it?
Yeah, no, I've never had Malort.
Do you want it? Because I have it. I have it downstairs. And spoiler alert, it's
I heard the
terrible.
Fernet shot at the end of the night started in Chicago.
Look, I love
It's a
Fernet.
very industry
Malort
Fernet shot.
made me want to vomit. I don't like it. I'm open to a lot of things.
Okay,
Not a
I have
fan.
no desire for Malort.
Just
I'm
saying it's
sorry.
there. Maybe take a little pinch home and find it.
It's gonna take a little bit more Laird's to get to Malort.
Just saying, I'm not drinking any Malort. Fuck Malort. I almost threw up when I had it at whatever show. But in New Jersey, again, I picked Laird's and Carton because, number one, I know Augie quite well, and one of the first breweries I know here, so it's very decidedly New Jersey.
Dude,
Obviously,
Carton's is known. It's the best.
Yeah, I mean, he's making. We were talking about these beers too ad nauseum about how he's getting the hyper local product. That's what I love.
He's always been ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Carton's is everything that you think you like in a beer. Carton's did it first.
Yeah, I helped him out with that. It was great. It's not a big
good
deal.
for
It's
you.
fine. I mean, I was there at the beginning. It's fine. Yeah, I was there. It was fine. I was there to help him. It's fine. He needed help in the beginning.
I'm
He needed
just
his
saying.
handheld. It's okay. I remember when Augie, and I love Augie and I love Cotton. It's just like bread, just like benchmark bread. Travis makes these fantastic bread. I stopped making bread. I was like, well, there's a guy now that's making bread. I ain't got the time. Fucking, he's got it locked. Me and my friend Eric, who will be here later, we call him the Count. Is he here? Get him up here. Get Eric up here. We call him the Count because he shows up late with big 18+% beers like the fucking vampire. Anyway, we showed up at Carton before they opened. We heard there's a brewery opening. We went there and brought a bunch of beers from Texas. He would travel for work. We had all these fucking beers. Like, let's just go to this
Austin
brewery.
was a huge beer brewery.
Let's just go to fucking. Let's just go with Big Dick Beer Flex and see what happens. We rolled up. We knocked on the door. Went in. It was him, and they were brewing their first batch of boat. They had it in a keg, and we fucking drank the entire keg.
Whoa.
There he is, the Count. Oof. I was just talking about the first time we went to Carton and we drank the entire thing of boat.
Well, here's a witness for that.
Oh,
Remember
there
that?
we go. Wow.
Sit over there.
Yeah, just hurdle, go right over there, and purple.
I was just referencing the time that me and Eric showed up, Augie. Oh, welcome back, Augie. I knew you were coming back.
Oh, hello.
I was just referencing.
Wait, I need a beer though.
Let's get some
Eric,
beers.
you still got beer there? I'll drink Billy's.
Was just referencing the time. Another pour. Was just referencing the time that
Nobody lets me drive home.
that before you guys opened, me and Eric showed up at your brewery.
All right,
with
so wait, because you told the story wrong. Let me tell the story.
no, I was
Yeah.
there, Augie. Let
Oh,
me
this
tell
how it
my
goes, this
version,
how it
and
goes.
then you tell
yours.
yours.
Yours is gonna suck.
No, mine was really good. We showed
Where's
up.
oh, you got to drink this.
Okay.
This is reffing.
We showed up
fucking tasty
with a backpack.
By
of
the way,
Eric-
for those of you who don't know, Eric, among a million other things, literally curates all our cellars.
What are we drinking?
And everything I drink out of my own cellar, Eric has told me to drink or buy. So
we
Eric showed up with a referend. It's a bit tart.
Oh,
I
yeah,
saw you
wasn't expecting
overreact.
that. Oh, I didn't expect a
You didn't,
reference.
when Eric and I sat down with you didn't expect a sour beer.
No, we were. Oh, how dare you!
It's not dark out yet. I'm not bringing
Yeah,
in
the sun is still up.
the 18 to 20 percenters. I'm actually.
I just wasn't expecting the tartness. I was just saying that at the time.
That's a nice tartness, though. Good on you.
As I stopped making.
What's his name? His name's Priest, right? That's why it's referenced.
James. Yeah.
Good on you, James.
God
that's
bless.
That's a super tasty sour.
I was just saying, as I stopped making bread because Travis makes great bread, we were making beer prior to Carton being in town. And we were trying to make a sensual, delicious beer. We heard a brewery was
Did
opening
you say
up.
sensual, delicious beer?
I said maybe, but I
Could
meant
be sensual.
I meant sexual, sessionable, sexual beer.
Sexual and sensual.
And correct me
Yeah,
where
I
I'm
definitely heard right.
Correct
I
me.
definitely
hold
heard
on, hold
right.
on.
I
Correct
definitely
me
heard
where I'm
right.
wrong, Eric, because Augie, you weren't involved in this lifestyle decision yet. Me and Eric were brewing in his garage, and we said, "Hey, man, there's a brewery opening in Landing Highlands. Maybe we should go check it out." We would keep brewing and brewing like noobs would, and they would come out just fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was okay.
And
I
then
can
we
tell
said,
you Eric's a good brewer.
and then we would go. Okay, I don't know what that was, but okay, and then we go.
It was a comment on beers I've had from Eric.
And then one day we roll into Carton Brewing. We literally knocked on the fucking door. I think it was you, Chris, and
No.
Jesse.
No.
Okay,
was
well,
me.
let me finish my story. I like my
Yeah,
version.
but your story's wrong.
We show up. My version's fantastic. We show up. We say hello. We crack the bottles that he brought from Texas, I believe.
Oh yeah, the Jester King. It was
Thank
the
you.
I've heard of
Mickler
that.
Jester
Thank
King.
you. We drank
I-
those,
I think
and
it's
then
still
you
on the
go,
shelf.
and then you go. This is like
I
a
think it's
comic
still
book
on the-
version. Next page, you go. Hey, try our keg of Boat. It's our flagship
No,
beer.
stop.
Ne-
All
we
right.
have to hold on. Let me finish my great grand story, and then and then fast forward to Jesse.
How many hours in is this? Three people are watching this, right? Three people are watching
Fast
this.
forward to Jesse going. We have to sell this tomorrow.
Wrong.
Fast forward
Wrong
4
again.
hours. Empty keg upside down.
Wrong
we finished
again.
it.
Wrong.
And then we said, now we're boys, and then
Wrong again.
we lived all happily ever after.
Wrong again.
Augie, your version,
Okay, so here's how it actually happened.
I think you're wrong. I honestly, to be fair, I'm like 90% sure that's
Right.
exactly that one.
But you've met all these people since. In this story, you walk in and there's Augie Carton.
no,
and Jesse.
No, it was Chris and Jesse. I
No,
think.
Chris wasn't there.
Okay.
Me, Jesse, and you. And Chris is the one who yells at me and
Well, he was
Jesse
here.
at the end of the
He
story.
was definitely there.
Right, so you guys walk in with some Jester King, which obviously, I mean, Jester King, right? So
Got us in the door.
all of a sudden, like that was the way in. I was like, oh,
That's the ticket.
yeah, I would love to drink Jester King with you, two people I've never met before in my
who emailed you, by the way?
closet. That's true. There was warning.
It was email.
Closet space. And so they showed up with tasty beers, and we drank them, and it was fun. And as you can see from the last 7 hours of torture you've been put through, I like drinking. Right? All right, grab me one too. But anyway, so what happens is they did share the beer, and it was lovely. And then we're not even built yet. Like, we haven't landed our tanks and all this, but what we have is a homebrew keg of what I believe is the right version of what will become boat beer. Don't drink the boat beer number 1, but it exploded.
Well, there's 2 more. Eric should have some.
Eric should definitely have
Is
it.
this the 9-year-old?
That's the original,
Oh.
I'm going to hide it at Billy's house
Wow.
can of boat.
Holy shit.
We had it, and Eric, I'm gonna really like what you think about it, because the worst part is it's a really tasty sound Belgian single.
Oh.
It's really weird. So what's funny about that? All right, so to answer that question in a nutshell is in pilot batches we went all the way up to number 24, and number 2 is the beer we still make.
Can we get back to the story?
Like we kept fucking around with it, but the second one is the one. That's the recipe that stuck. It was the right one. We tried a million ways to do it. We tried a million variations. Beer number 2 is that's fun. How old is that though? Is that right now? Yeah, because white label. All right, can shortage people.
You would never be able to recreate it.
Right, but so beer number 2 is what we made. So this was the keg we'd brewed, home brewed of beer 2, the final version of boat that was going to go.
Yes.
Statewide the next day.
We enjoyed
And
it.
this was
thoroughly.
a 6-week homebrewed
was-
for me to tour around with, to taste people on for when we opened, right? So I was just going, there was this Target 10 bars. Jesus, heaven going, but Twin Light Tap House was one of them. Jamian's, Boyle's, Brick Wall. Cloverleaf, Copper Mine.
All the hitters at the time.
All at the time. But back then it was that easy. There was a list of 10 in New Jersey. So I was going all them with it. But these guys come in, and they're super fun. And obviously here I am sitting in their backyard fucking 10 years later. And this is exactly what it looked like, except a lot less gray hair.
Yeah. Well, speak for yourselves.
Yeah.
I just lost
I'll
hair,
speak
but it's
for
fine.
you.
My hair's still the same color. I just lost more.
Oh, yeah. There's more of it, though.
Carry on.
Anyway.
You guys look great on camera.
Appreciate it.
Best
Thank
producer
you.
ever.
But anyway, so we have like one of those corny kegs, like 2 pumps.
Crushing out corny kegs. Yeah?
And I was like, and it was standing up in a fridge.
Yes.
Right? Like all the drawers pulled out of the fridge. Like
Large
it was just there for me to fill growlers with to go bar to bar and be like, you got to taste our new beer. We're going to change brewing. And to be fair, we did. I saw a can of All Day here, which comes 2 years after Boat Beer. You're welcome, America. Anyway. But anyway. That's
America.
Right. You're welcome, founders and America.
50 states, 50 weeks. You're welcome, America.
But anyway, so these guys like, so I was like, yeah, it's like, I like drinking Nugget Nectar, Flower Power, Lagunitas. So this is a 4.2
Which
version
is,
of
not
that.
to cut you off, we were amateur brewing at the time, and the only thing we wanted to make was a sessionable type heady beer with hops involved.
We actually talked about that on the drive over, even.
Yeah.
And I remember, and we said
Because
something.
no one at the time was doing it.
Yeah. It was
Just
either.
to be clear, no one's still doing it.
It was either.
That's why session IPA isn't a thing anymore. Boat is. But anyway, but so what I was saying was, these guys there, I was like, so you know how you love heady, and you wish heady was 4.2 because you could drink 50 of them. So this is what I'm trying to do. So all that bitterness, all that aromatics, all that thing, a little body from wheat, and these guys were homebrewing, and we were still homebrewers at the point. Like, this is still a homebrew I'm serving you. Like, but here's what we're going to open with. This is going to be the thing. And Jersey drinkers are Jersey drinkers. We drink 50 beers when we drink, so a 4.2 version of this beer is what we need, right? Make what you know, right? There's a hole in the market.
We went hard.
So I poured them one. They liked it. And then at some point, when I was pouring them another, the keg was empty. And I looked at you and said, this is awkward. Because Monday I'm supposed to go on the road with this beer and sell it to these 10 bars.
My story's not that far off.
Except that it involves other people. So I called up Jesse. I was like, when's the next boat ready?
Was he not
So
there? I
he
felt
was
like he was
in
there.
Brooklyn when I had to make this call.
Okay.
When's the next boat ready? Because they were still fermenting in his apartment in Brooklyn. We weren't even fermenting in Jersey yet. So I was like, when's the next boat ready? And he's like, 2.5 weeks. I was like,
We single-handedly...
but literally, this is the first time I was owner and he was brewer. Like, we'd been brewing together up until this. I was like, can it be tomorrow? And he literally says in perfect Jesse form, what the fuck have you done? And I was like, well, do you remember the guys who showed up 5 hours ago with that Jester King? And he said, yeah. I said,
Still here.
we're out of boat beer.
Yeah.
And he's like, the 3 of you drank a whole 6-loaf boat beer? I was like, yeah. Well, we'd like more.
Yeah.
But that was another one. So there's two stories along the way. Like, so if any of you at home that are still listening are on Untapped and you're my friend, which 21,000 of you are.
Oh. Self-righteous.
That picture of me. No. I friend everybody that drinks the beer, and if they say yes, I toast them.
I don't go on.
But I know, because you're fancy like that. But what I'm saying is that picture on boat beer is that first glass of version 2. You were asking.
Oh.
So we put it in a keg. We brought it over to my cousin's house. We drank it with him. These are the Netty sausages.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Those are
Jack.
awesome.
Hold on. Clear the fucking floor.
Well, hold on. I'd like a beer that isn't a 10-year-old boat because I already tasted that shit. You better back it up.
Put that in the camera zone.
Somebody get rid of the dog before we put. That's the 10-year-old boat.
That's a
Oh,
10-year-old
but just be careful. The last one splashed all over.
It's
us.
gonna
Hold
blow
on.
up. Make sure you get some
Just
too.
Be
Slide
careful.
the sausage here so the camera can get it.
Oh yeah, so it's happy to see us.
See, what I like about that is, we were talking for the entire time while drinking that keg.
We're just hanging out,
saying,
sessioning as we intended the beer to be.
You were saying, and I remember you saying, yeah, this is supposed to be one that you have a lot of. And then we absolutely
We did.
And then we had 5
tested your
gallons
theory.
between 3 dudes.
We tested your theory and it was fantastic.
And here we are.
Worked out beautifully.
Podcasting together a decade
10
later.
years.
So you know what's funny about that, boys? Our 10th anniversary is August 11th. So that day,
We're
has
actually
to
not that
be
far off.
around right now.
That's bizarre.
wow.
You understand what I'm saying? Like
I kind of feel like
it's
we're
the
all the
third
same
week of
people,
July.
boys. We're all the same.
Well, I'm skinnier. Remember how big I used to be?
Not then. I don't remember.
Yeah, I was fat.
I feel
I
like
used to
you're
drink a
all
lot of
the
beer. All right,
same
so
to me.
here's. We need
I
glasses.
had it already,
right?
so give it
No,
to people.
Is that
plastic
OG?
cups.
That's
This
the
is
Gary, you
OG.
should get some.
This
You
is
should
the
get some.
first canning
Get a new
run.
glass. Get a freshie.
This is the first canning
You
run
should
of
get
boat
some. Yeah, yeah.
ever in the world. But I feel weird pouring it into a rocks glass full of brandy.
There's heady glasses to be had. Get a heady glass and
well,
yeah,
there's
you're good.
plastic
Water,
cups.
anything?
Yeah, no, you got it.
There's,
Well,
water, there's water at the thing.
just put a little bit of boat, throw it
Where's
on.
Chris to
grog.
talk about these sausages? I want Chris.
Chris!
Sell your sausage. Come here.
Talk to us about
Talk
this.
about the greatest
Talk
sausage
about
in New
this
Jersey.
spicy sausage.
Can you talk to us about the greatest?
He's got a half-ass hot dog.
There he goes.
Can you talk to us about the greatest?
the
sausage
guy with a hot dog
that
in his
I've ever
mouth
had
is
in
going
New
to tell you about
Jersey?
the sausage. Come on, sit down.
Can you now, Chris? Before I make you start talking, and you're eating that Hebrew National all beef hot dog.
Really? Hebrew National?
I don't know. It was in the freezer.
I'm
I just
a
want.
fan of the Chick House dog.
Me too. I mean, that's what I would pick. But this is what we got.
Right.
I just want to say that this sausage, when the first time I had it, it was the greatest sausage I've ever had, and to this day, everyone I bring it to, and here's a man who's eaten a lot of fucking sausage in many respects. You know, in many respects, this man loves sausage. It's his favorite, and I don't want you to give out the secret recipe. I don't know if it's a secret. I'm just saying.
It's for sale.
To me, I tell everyone at the restaurant, you could buy this by the pound. You're fucking dope if you don't leave without it.
You tell them that.
Why is it? I don't say that. I say it in a very hospitable manner, Augie. Well, I say it in a very hospitable manner. I say, if you enjoy the sausage tonight, you could bring it home for a very reasonable rate and cook it at home in your own method. Yeah, and then I blow them for $25, but it's fine. But the thing is, this sausage to me, again, I don't know if it has anything to do with New Jersey. It's made in New Jersey.
100%.
It's fucking, and again, dude, I'm not just blowing it up. I love this fucking sausage. It's my favorite. It's the best. So just tell me a little bit about your sausage and your process, all that stuff. And I know Steve wants to talk about it because I know he's a bigger fan than I, and I love it.
I don't know if this is a Jersey thing, but
Fuck it.
we grew up.
Jersey.
We grew up eating like that ring sausage, the cheese and parsley ring.
Garbage.
Yeah, good.
Well, thin, dry sausage overcooked usually.
What about the? What is this, Mike? What about the fact that like sausage, you eat some sausages and there's that little hard piece of cartilage in it?
Yeah. I like that.
Do you?
I'm not
That little BB?
I don't want it, but I'm not mad at it. It
I am.
It to be an animal.
No, but that means they didn't clean it well enough. You will never find a piece of that in this grind ever. Number one. It's shit. I'm just getting going.
You were on a roll. Thank you. Breathe deeply.
I'm gonna grab another.
It's so decisively different to me too. That's why I love them both. Like I know you love the hot. Like we eat a lot together. He's always like, "Give me the fucking hot."
I love the hot, and I haven't been able to shut the fuck up about the hot because it's all I had. I love chilies. I love specifically Calabrian chilies.
Fucking good.
And now that I've actually had the sweet, it's just as good. Without that Calabrian chili heat, it's super.
But it's also decisively different.
It's
not.
different.
It's
No,
not
no, no.
just the same sausage.
No,
with
it's
heat.
different. They're both fucking sensational.
I love it.
They are. Again, not my recipe, so I can say this, right, Billy?
Well, yeah.
It's the best fucking sausage. I'll challenge anybody.
Good.
Anybody, bring your sausage game. I'm telling you right now, we win every time.
I put this against.
Anything. What?
I put this against any. No, fuck. Get out of here with that.
Don't even say it.
I'm talking about. There's probably some like mom pop shop somewhere that makes great sausage. I'll put it on the table. Let's fucking go.
You hear that, Premio? Come at me, bro.
Go fuck Primo.
Yeah, go fuck
Primo,
yourself.
go fuck themselves. No, I mean, dude, the cake, everything from the cake, like, I don't even know, dude. The hot, I fuck every time I'm at fucking Nettie's when I fucking sell the sizzle the tables. I'm always just like, have you had the sausage? Like, I don't know about sausage. Just like, trust me, get the fucking sausage. You don't like it, I'll buy it. Never do they fucking say that sucked ever. It's the fucking
Never gonna happen.
Why is it $20? It's a lot. Shut the fuck up and eat it and tell me you got a problem with it. Eat two of those and tell me you're not full. What are you, a fucking idiot?
This is what I mean. So
Sorry. I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry. I was a
Eat that
little,
commodity.
I was a little aggressive.
You're getting very angry about this.
But people get dumb sometimes with prices and stuff, and they don't understand.
Commodity pork is 99 cents a pound.
Oh,
You know
no.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
pork is cheap. Sausage.
You don't
yo,
clean it well, and you have bits of bone and shit in it. It's even less.
Chris, if
money
I go,
to get.
hold
You know,
on,
we-
Chris.
we
I can,
put the time in.
I
We
can
make
go
it the
buy
right way.
sausage at the store for $1.99 a pound.
Go ahead, have it. Enjoy.
But you can't. Dude, if you literally put a piece of that next to this and ate it, you would be like, you might throw up. You might be like, hold on, this is rotten. There might be something wrong with this thing.
Some people are so used to it they would hate this.
But that's,
Well,
I mean,
get it.
I had this
Everybody-
conversation with the guy that
If you
hasn't
like good
aired
sausage,
yet.
here it is. If you like shitty sausage,
In New York, the quality of meat is so important, and it's the thing that no one thinks about. The quality of the meat is the most important thing for your health, the most important thing for the flavor. Like flavor 1, 2, your health, all that stuff. Like if you get
the farmer, for everybody. It's better for
everybody,
the-
like,
the
but you
world.
know, but when people start thinking about cost, it's like, yeah, the cheapest shit is cheap, but it's cheap for a reason, man.
Yeah.
And it's killing you, really,
Yeah.
and it tastes like dick, really, and it's not good.
The animals are tortured.
When the animals are murder, like that's what when you talk. I love talking to vegans. Sorry to cut you off. Like vegans and vegetarians. And my first question, and I don't give a fuck. You do. You want to be vegan, vegetarian? It's all great. But my first question is always, oh, speaking of my first question. My first question is, why are you vegetarian? Why would you eat just vegetables? Why would you not eat some
This
delicious,
is a great story.
proper meat?
Why are you vegetarian, Tom? What happened?
Tanya,
what
introduce
happened at
yourself.
one time?
Tanya, introduce yourself.
My wife.
No,
my
get a
love.
microphone.
Hi. I don't like microphones.
It's great.
I'm a vegetarian since I was 12 years old.
No,
so
but
it's
hold on,
been the
Tanya. Who are
majority
you?
of my
Introduce
life.
yourself,
I'm
Tanya.
Tanya.
Tanya
Calabrese.
From where?
Calabrese.
Calabrese.
Who's your boyfriend? You have a
My
boyfriend?
boyfriend is named Chris Calabrese. We happen to have the same last name. We may be married. But I've been a vegetarian since I was
Last
12
I
years
heard.
old. I'm Armenian and Iraqi, half and half. My
Decisively
family-
not Italian.
My family, I'm Italian by marriage, and my family doesn't believe in being a vegetarian, but I made it work. And I
So
have-
you said I'm going to be vegetarian. Even no one in your family
yeah,
is.
my
I never
poor
even thought
mom,
about
she had
this.
to make me all this food all the time.
So what? And again, I hate doing this question, and it's fine. We know each other. We have no problem.
It's fine.
Why are you vegetarian? Like, what made you say?
I ate a hamburger and it had a piece of like cartilage or something
oh,
disgusting
you're just
in
talking
it.
about that.
It's fucking
Okay.
disgusting. I don't want to eat that.
You had a piece of. Hold on. I just want to say
I
you
don't
had a
wanna
piece of hamburger with a piece of cartilage into it. It changed your life,
Yes.
your view of eating. And then your
Absolutely.
husband said, "I will do nothing but my life, but make sausage that will never have that happen again."
Billy, besides you, I've never heard of anybody being like, I don't mind it.
What a love story!
But can I say
This is the greatest love story of all
Can I
time.
say
Can I just
that-
say? Can I just
So-
say this is the greatest love story I've ever heard in my life?
She'll never try it, but I made it for her.
The first thing he said was, "You were not going to get a piece of gristle in that fucking sausage." I was like, "Yeah, I guess." Like I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
Gristle,
but
okay.
that was the first thing he said about the sausage, and then you come in and say, "I'm a vegetarian because I had a piece of gristle," and he literally dedicated his life to not doing it.
Okay.
That's a beautiful love story.
I feel.
It's a
I
disgusting
feel,
feeling. You guys
It's not
out there
pleasant.
know.
It's not pleasant.
Hamburger, hot dog, sausage.
You don't want it.
Chicken.
Chicken
You
nugget.
don't want it. Oh, chicken.
No.
Chicken's
Chicken
horrifying.
nugget was
Her
my
second
second
offense-
experience with the what is it, gristle?
Gristle, a bun-
and
a
so
chunky.
and after that I was like no, because I gradually stopped eating every like meat type.
So it's a
over
textural thing
years.
for you.
Oh,
I find that it's
so
groups for people.
texture.
It's a texture
So
thing.
texture.
Some
So
people are
texture.
just like, I don't want to hurt an animal. I mean,
No,
I don't
I
want to
mean
hurt an animal either,
I'm not
you know.
evil, but I also
But
don't
there's
really
humane
give a
ways to
shit
do it.
about hurting the animals.
Well, we got to eat animals
I'm
for
sorry.
humans. Sorry, we got to eat animals.
I wear fur and leather.
You don't
It's
have to eat
fine.
animals.
Meat is disgusting. I'm sorry. I wish I could eat
What
it.
was your favorite food before you turned vegetarian?
Hot
though?
dogs. Hot dogs.
Okay,
out
wait
to
a
hot
minute.
dogs.
Hold on.
I
This is a
love
conundrum.
Shout out to
Your,
hot
your
dogs.
number one food was the most
Hot
fucking like
dog.
violating and,
And Monty.
gristful garbage.
Monty. Monty is an Armenian Middle Eastern like dumpling kind of thing. It's like lamb and is wrapped in a
Sounds
wontani
delicious.
wrapper. Oh, it is. It's absolutely delicious. Until you but now it's not even
But
about
when
the
you-
texture. Now it's like I literally can't.
But when you're dealing with a real product, like that's gonna
No, I
happen.
can't,
like,
Billy.
like if I just brought, if I,
tried.
hold on, let's just extrapolate this situation, and we have a fucking 20-acre farm here. We just literally murdered a lamb at 9 a.m.
No.
and we're eating it now.
No.
There's gonna be some gristle involved today. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. Like that's what I said. Is gristle okay? Yeah, because we
But I
murdered
can't
the
even
lamb at
stand the
9,
smell
and
of
we're
it.
this is what we're eating all day.
In a product like this, it feels like that should be
No, in a refined
omitted.
restaurant product, it should not be there. I'm with you.
Anything you're gonna
Pay for.
consume, I don't want that extra texture.
But if I'm talking about we were living in Armenia and we just killed the lamb at 7 a.m., dude, and we're gonna eat it at 4, there may be
never
some
lived in
gristle involved.
Armenia.
Sorry, we didn't have the time to get it out.
It's like eating a whole fish. It's like you might get
You're
a
gonna
bone.
catch a bone.
Well,
But it's
when we were in
delicious.
Sicily for our honeymoon, I tried fish.
That's true.
And I tried it, and I was like, "This is not so bad." And then I got a bone, and I was like, "Fuck this! This is fucking disgusting. I will never eat another animal in my life." And since then, I've never eaten another piece of fish. That was 5.5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, the way that I look at it is, you go to a place, you're enjoying something, right, and then all of a sudden everything's good, and then all of a sudden something really gross happens, and it just destroys the rest of the meal.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of the time, you're there wondering whether or not you're going to bite into another fucking thing.
So that's been my life.
And it's like, it's.
And especially when you're young.
Yeah. And
it's like your mom made a bad broccoli. Never eating broccoli.
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts.
It creates that. It ruins the. And especially if you're going out to eat somewhere, you don't want to find that in there. Like it ruins it. It's I don't know.
I agree.
I was when I was traveling for work. I would go out to eat 3 times a day, like 5 days a week. So it was like 15, 20, go to all these different restaurants. If I found one piece of something like that in there, I would never go back to the place.
Yeah.
I was working in a place with 2 Pizza Huts in one town, and there was one other restaurant. In that other restaurant, I found one of the pieces of those fucking things in there and one of the foods, and I was like, all right, I'm going to eat Pizza Hut for the rest of the fucking week. So
Absolutely.
that's the way it was. It was just
I live
ruins
off
the
of
experience.
carbs.
And I would say that that's there because somebody wasn't paying care. And like any food that people don't pay attention to, like and put care into, soigner is like handled with care. Like that word comes up in a lot in professional kitchens. But
My
it's like,
mom might
it's
be
like handling it
listening.
with care, and you have to take the extra step. And like you show that love in the food. This sausage, we make sure you never.
It's soigné as fuck. It's also it's what you're paying for, and this is what I think people don't realize. Like you're paying for the man hours behind
I'm not
making,
getting rich off this. I promise
making
you.
that. It's not about that. It's the man hours
losing
behind
money.
taking that beautiful product, turning it into this perfect piece of sausage. And again, I mean, everyone I've given it to, and his regard is very high in my world. And every time he eats it, every time I eat with this fucking guy, he's like, "Do you have the fucking? Did you bring any sausage? I know you worked last night. Did you bring it?" And I was like, "I didn't. I'm sorry." But all he wants to do is fucking eat Netty sausage. It's so fucking good. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Sure, Mike.
Here's the thing. I don't even
Mike, who's
want
not
to
here.
eat.
And you never had it?
I've never had it.
Have you
of
had any
course.
sausage before you were vegan?
Probably when I was really
Even
little.
the-
Forgetful.
I'm not a
You
vegan,
don't
by
even
the way.
remember.
I fucking love
Sorry,
cheese.
vegetarian.
But
Okay?
vegetarian
I
vegan
get
sausage,
blurred.
you don't even like the texture of that.
I don't like when
'Cause
you
you're
get
very-
something that's
because you're
supposed
very
to be
removed.
like a.
She's texture.
You don't
If
like
it's
the
like a
mushrooms?
fake sausage, no, I love mushrooms. But if it's like a fake sausage or a fake hot dog or whatever, it's disgusting.
You
to
fuck
me.
with eggs,
The only
though.
thing sometimes I
But
go
eggs
through
are
phases.
pretty much chickens.
But I go through phases, Billy. Don't even like get me started because I won't eat eggs again
Sorry,
for
just
another
say
year.
Okay.
You-
Look.
You have to apologize to Chris because I'm not going
Sorry.
to eat eggs for like a year now. They don't have gristle, but
No
they have
gristle.
egg whites that are runny like boogers, and I'm not into that.
Nah, Scrambies don't have
I'm
that.
not into that.
Restaurants don't cook them all the way?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I remember I didn't eat eggs for several years because my mom was cracking the egg, and there was one of them that was still developed or whatever in there, and it was like, and it got put into the other eggs. I mean, this was like back in like, it was. All I know is like I saw her crack the egg, and I saw like some bloody mess go into a frying pan, and she go like, "Ah, shit," and then I was like, "I'm not fucking eating any of this stuff. Like, I'm done."
I have to
No, I
crack
didn't eat
eggs
it.
in the closet, so if Tom see, like God forbid.
We take
Oh
out the
my God.
umbilical
Don't you
cord.
appreciate that it's a real product, and
My friend
sometimes
told me
there's
it's an umbilical cord.
It's not though. It's
The
just
thing
not.
that connects the white to the yolk, that's an
But you
umbilical
know what? If
cord.
I scramble it up and put some butter in there, you're not even gonna know. It's fine.
It's every part of the chicken.
I
What does
can't
it
do
matter?
it.
The umbilical- It's a belly
When
button.
I eat a fucking
best.
roasted chicken, I'll fucking eat it to the bone. I'll eat everything. I'll eat the fucking umbilical
Feet.
cord. I'll eat the feet. I'll
You and
nibble
I
on
are
the
very
gristle.
different.
I'll do it all.
Nope.
You should
Tail.
see me. You should see me eat a fucking chicken wing.
The beak.
I fucking
the
take
beak.
every piece of that fucking thing down. I look at people next to me. If we get a plate of wings and someone next to me eats a wing, I look at it and go, "You're an inferior human. I see what you did to that fucking drumstick. That's weak. There's cartilage there you didn't eat. You're a piece of garbage.
Oh,
and
remember
you're
in
wasteful."
Encino Man when the guy orders 2 beaks?
No.
Oh fuck.
I mean, I've
Encino
seen it,
Man,
but I was like 2.
Pauly Shore.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
2?
I was not 2, but watch my fake palm, Tanya.
Plant is fake,
That thing's
guys.
held together with glue.
There's so many great
It's not a
palms
podcast
out
unless there's
there.
fake palms. Everyone knows that's the rule.
Sorry.
Well, all right.
I
Yes,
called you out
fake
on that
palm
shit.
trees.
Any Encino Man fans here?
I mean, I remember the movie. I don't remember the deets.
Okay,
Attaboy.
I'm
There's just one scene when
Checking
they
out.
go to a chicken place and the guy orders a
Thank
leg
you.
and a thigh,
Thank you,
and
Tanya.
then the Encino Man walks up and orders 2 beaks.
I believe that happened. I just don't remember it.
You're gonna love it when you see it.
I don't think I'm ever going to see that movie again, to be
I'm
honest
gonna
with you.
send it to you every day.
All right. Can't wait to not watch it.
Well, good luck. Every day I'm going
All
to
right, hold on.
twice a day.
How long have we been taping, Jerry?
4 or 5 hours.
Okay, let's fucking wrap this up. Let's put the computers away. Chris, thank you. Cheers. Love you. We're going to do this. We're going to keep partying, though. Eric, is there anything you need to... We want to talk about beers or anything? Or, like, New Jersey stuff? Like, I don't want to shut people down, but... I mean...
This man deserves his own podcast.
That's what I'm saying. We can do this anytime. I mean, we've been going for a minute. Like, we should shut this down, bring this inside, and let's let the party commence. Let's just wrap it up. End it. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. This is fantastic. I don't know how this is going to be edited or shown. It's fantastic. Thank you. To all the guests, we'll shoot them in the YouTube. It's been a long day. I did a really good job. Commendable to me for not being a goddamn waste by now.
That's debatable.
Thanks, Steve. Love you, Steve. Cheers to Steve. Grab your mic. Grab the yellow mic and give me a mic toast. Cheers, guys. Thank you. These two guys, I loved both of these guys. I've known both of them for a very long time. Steve, cooking everything. I'll start manning the grill if you want, but I know you're all set up. All right. Let's do it. Thank you so much, guys. Back to Billy in the studio. See ya.
Yay. Good show, Bill.
Back to Billy in the studio. We did it. That was fun. It was fun to watch that. I haven't seen that since the day, and that was pretty good. Sorry, just wanna... There we go. Did we learn anything about New Jersey? Do we feel like we're more in the loop on New Jersey now? I'm not sure. We talked a lot of New Jersey beer. We talked a lot of New Jersey food. We went a little off path. We pulled it back, I think, for the most part. From what I saw, what I heard, what I recall, I think we did New Jersey justice. Not sure. It's a different format than our usual show, but I thought it went well. It was a big test of the equipment and the gear. We made it to another location, went outside. It was pretty good. I was impressed. Let's see, a lot of dogs, a lot of guests, lots of separate chats. So many people to thank. Obviously, special guest Augie Carton from Carton Brewing. Thank you very much. Chris Calabrese from Nandy's House of Spaghetti. Dave Viana from Heirloom Kitchen. Steve Farley from Artisan's Brewery, all the chefs that were there. And then we had Tanya also come on from the end at Nandy's House of Spaghetti. Eric Linneman, Getting Dark was there. Bria von Hugel was there. The dogs were all there. I can't even remember what other guests. I mean, there was a lot of guests, a lot of ins and outs, a lot of people coming in and out and chatting all things New Jersey. It was kind of fantastic. Interesting way to run the show, a different way that we ran the show. I kind of want to do like a whole other hour now of New Jersey the way we normally do it in studio, but honestly, I think that covered a lot of New Jersey. And I think the vibe of New Jersey was covered. I feel like it was very New Jersey, very crass, very loose. We went all over the place. We hit the products. We hit the pork roll. Benchmark Bread. Travis, also shout out to Travis at Benchmark Bread for making a fantastic loaf of bread that all of the sandwiches we featured were on. Damn, that was good. We'll put links to all that stuff in the YouTube stuff below, the Instagram highlight reel that'll come out soon. Yeah, I don't know. Thanks to all the guests. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to super shout out to Jerry O, Next Level Tabletop for fully producing, supporting, engineering, staffing that whole rig. That was fun. I don't know. And all my friends who came to the party. After the cameras went off, we just partied. It was fantastic. And ate a lot of pork roll. A lot of pork roll was consumed in the making of this episode. I don't know what else there is to say. Thanks to everybody. So that's it. I think week 30, New Jersey, week 30, in the bag. Hopefully you all enjoy that episode. Again, it was something a little bit different than our standard bits and bites. Hopefully we can do a couple more things like that in the near future. Thank you to all the guests. Week 30, New Jersey, in the bag. This episode will be available on YouTube tomorrow. Bitsandbites.us. Go right there. And I'll bring you the playlist of all the shows, New Jersey, and all the weeks prior. Let's look at the schedule real quick and see what's coming up this week. Week 31. Well, week 30, New Jersey in the bag. Dunzo. Week 31, New Mexico is coming up. What are we going to do for New Mexico? Food, drink, who could say? It'll be in the studio, though. We're not going on site. Week 32, New York. Then North Carolina, North Dakota, rounding out the ends before we get into Ohio. Round at the ends, high in the middle, Ohio. New Mexico's next week. Join us for that. I don't even know where we're going with. I forgot. We have some juice from New Mexico, I think. I think there's some bubbly, if I recall. I think we have some green chilies. I'm not really even 100% sure. I've been focusing so much on the New Jersey episode and getting the studio rebuilt after that. I haven't even looked at the docket, but we will soon. Week 30, New Jersey in the bag. Thank you so much. Bitsandbytes.us will bring it to YouTube. Watch all the videos there. Subscribe, like, comment, upvote, downvote, do all those things. At the Billy Vegas on Instagram. Follow me there. This has been Bits and Bytes. Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll see you next week. Week 31, New Mexico, coming up soon.